Welcome back to another edition of Traits Triumph by way of What's to Play Productions. I'm Christian, here with Brian and SportsFan. And here we are with our mock draft 2.0. All right. We have our second mock draft. The first one released about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. With we each had our own set of teams. We made the picks for them. For this mock draft, we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're still going to be predicting the pick, but we're going to act as a war room for all 32 of the first round picks, and we're going to try our best to come to consensus for every single pick. If not, we can just debate the pick, and whoever has the best argument wins out in that scenario. But we're going to try to act as a war room, simulate an actual NFL war room, the discussions that happen in the war room during the draft. If there are trades, we will create our own trades, of course, since we're acting as all 32 teams in this scenario. So, of course, before we get started, anybody have anything they want to add in terms of description of the draft? I think I covered just about everything there.
I think you covered everything.
No, all right. We are recording this on the day of Drake May's Pro Day. So whenever this comes out, there may be some shifts based off the order. You never know. There may be a trade that was made. But to start off, the Bears are on the clock. This is something that we know that won't change. Ever since our first draft, they have officially traded Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So everybody knows the pick. It's Caleb Williams. This is what we had in our last draft. So get Caleb Williams onto the Bears. Gotcha. And then the draft really starts.
Does it though?
Yeah, it starts at 2.
My opinion, I think it starts at 4.
I agree there, but we'll get to that.
Caleb Williams is now a Bear.
So at pick 2, Washington Commanders on the clock. I think everybody in the world knows it's going to be a quarterback. This debate is who is the quarterback. Initially, we thought it was just between Drake May, Jalen Daniels. There's reports a couple days ago at the Michigan Pro Day at the general manager and owners meetings that J.J. McCarthy may be the guy who Adam Peters has his eye on. So I think we all should just go around. Who is the quarterback that you would like to draft for the Washington Commanders here? SportsFan, we'll start with you.
Oh, God. Me personally, I will pick Drake May. For out of the 3, he has the best chance of being a true NFL quarterback per se. As making all the throws that's needed. Josh, very similar to how Josh Allen came out. Not as Josh Allen was actually way worse coming out as a prospect, but just similar to how arm talent and making all the throws and on the move. He showed that a lot his pro day on the film, and just once he cleans up some of his lack of some bad footwork he had that kind of led to errant throws. I believe if you get that down pat, work on it, he should be one of the best QBs in the league eventually. Believe his ceiling's the highest, and I believe when you're drafting for the draft, you should be drafting for the ceiling, what they could be, not the floor. That's why I'm not doing J.J. McCarthy. I feel like he has the highest floor of the prospects not named Caleb Williams, but I feel like the ceiling just isn't there. And you're drafting at 2, you need to be swimming for the fences. And Jaden Daniels, he's talented, but I don't see the arm talent that Drake May or JJ has, or even Michael Penix, to be honest with you. So it's just, I'm going to go with Drake May, personally. What would you think, Mingles?
I think over the past, ever since our first draft, I think a couple of us up here have cooled on Jaden Daniels a bit as a prospect. Not to say he's not a great prospect, but there are some things that have, the more you evaluate, the more things you uncover about particular prospects. I mean, it's already known about Jaden Daniels, not inability, but there's not much tape on his ability to actually throw over the middle of the field. So that was already discussed. Then when you really look at it, you really start to study the arm talent in comparison to, like you said, Drake May, even J.J. McCarthy. He's probably not even 4th in this class. Then you have the frame that you may also be concerned about. He is a top-tier athlete at the quarterback position, but you've seen multiple top-tier athletes at the position not have the success that warrants the draft position they were selected. And we just saw Justin Fields get traded for a 6th-round pick. And coming out of school, I don't think anybody would have seen the trajectory that Justin Fields' career has gone on just because of his inability to quickly adapt as a passer. The athleticism is great. He is probably, if not the best, he's definitely the second best running quarterback in the league currently. But his inability to just get the arm under control, making the proper reads in an offense, having his feet settled in the pocket is what led him out of Chicago. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is going to suffer from the same things he has, but he does also have a pretty high pressure to sack ratio, which is which I don't want to say directly correlates to the bad quarterback play, but a lot of bad quarterbacks have a high pressure to sack ratio come out of college into the league.
And not
Um,
even that, and not even before you finish up,
but
not even that it really correlates to bad quarterbacks. Is that sack, the pressure ratio doesn't really change once they go to the league. It's been kind of consistent from college to pros. You can look at almost any quarterback. So it's almost I feel like you have to double check, but I feel like if he gets drafted this high, I feel like he have the highest by far sack to pressure ratio of any quarterback. You can
yeah,
correct me on.
I think he's 22%. I think Joe Burrow was at 20%, and that mean Joe Burrow has had a successful career, but you can see that his pressure to sack ratio carried over into the league. Like a lot of people blame the Bengals offensive line, but a lot of Joe Burrow's issues early in his career was he was holding on to the ball too long, trying to make stuff happen when he could have simply thrown the ball away, taking a check down. So stuff like that, it carries over into the league. So all this being said, I want the pick to be Drake May. We're gonna let Brian discuss further, but Jaden Daniels or JJ would worry me more so than Drake May would. Taking a quarterback in the draft makes you anxious either way because you really do never know how it's gonna go. But I think Drake May is safer out of the remaining quarterback prospects, and he probably has the higher ceiling out of any of them. He's probably the youngest in the draft out of these top few. Let me check. Brian, who do you have?
So I can't remember if we talked about this in the quarterback episode or in the previous mock draft episode, but one thing that obviously everybody's talked about with Jaden is they feel like he would fit the offense more because he's more of a dynamic runner. But it's not like Drake Mays is a slouch athletically. Um, the big knock I've heard on him on Drake May is that he doesn't always make the easy throws. Well, doesn't always complete the easy throws, I should say. But I think that's something that can kind of be corrected. And I don't think it's so much. What am I trying to say? I think it's correctable. I guess that's just the best way I could put it. And I think with a better supporting cast around him than what he had last year, I think he'll look more like the 2022 version of himself. And I think if we take that into account, I think obviously as Christian was talking about earlier in the day, if we look at Drake's take from 2022, I don't think there's a question that he would be the number one pick if Caleb's not in the draft. He would definitely be number one consensus. So I think that
Be
the
honest.
drop off a little bit from
Yeah,
2022 to 2023 has hurt him a little bit, but he's the definitive QB2 for me, and I just think that it's not it's not that it's not close enough for me between him and Jaden Daniels for me to say I'm willing to take Jaden Daniels, especially when I feel like both both guys' ceilings are pretty high. It's not like Drake May is like Alex Smith or somebody like that, where he's a high floor, low ceiling guy. So either way, um, I think either way you slice it, I think Drake May has to be the picker if you're the Washington Commanders. Now I do know that JG was talking about how JJ could fit the offense. So if
mhm.
you want to elaborate on that point, JG.
Yeah. Just this is if they want to just find a player that fits the scheme and a floor and they can do what the quarterback needs to do in this offense. I think JJ could probably do it pretty well. This offense requires the quarterback to quickly read the defense and kind of call the plays at the line. There's not a wide variety of like formations and looks out of this offense. When Cliff was at USC last year, they the offense kind of looked like that and kind of struggled towards the back end of the season because defense kind of caught up to that. He struggled. He struggled. Cliff offense struggled at Texas Tech. Struggled with that at Arizona. Just towards the end of the season, when when defensive coordinators and coaches kind of figure out what's going on, there's not really a lot of movement from maybe like motion. There wasn't a lot of. We had probably we bottom four in the league in motion for the Cardinals, and I'm sure USC probably had similar things. Um, so it's just that quarterback that can actually make them throws from hash to sidelines because you're in a spread offense. You need to make them throws to the outside very often, even if it's just screens. Jaden Daniels just doesn't have the arm talent that I believe that Drake May and JJ have. So either one could probably fit this scheme better, but JJ I feel like can just kind of call a plays at the line to make this offense kind of go. Um, just that's kind of the floor pick, but I wouldn't do that at two. If there's picking on like maybe 5 or 6, I would say yeah, JJ's probably a better pick. But you're picking at two. Drake May's right there. I feel like you should take him just for the potential that he could be.
We can lock in Drake May at 2 if everybody's comfortable with that. Then we can move on to the New England Patriots.
Now, this is where you can argue that it starts. I know me and JG both said it starts at 4, but if you're the Patriots, you have a couple of options here. Because you could go ahead and take a quarterback for the future. You could go ahead and take the best available prospect on the board in Marvin Harrison Jr. Or you could decide to do what's been a Patriots and Bill Belichick special for years and trade down, whether that's with the Giants at 6, the Vikings who now have picks 11 and 23, Broncos and Raiders at 12 and 13, even though I'm not sure what they would trade, or some mystery team that may really want one of these players. Um, I know in the last one I said that they should take Jaden Daniels. I think they still go ahead and do that because you probably could use Jacoby as a bridge quarterback this year and allow Jaden to sit and kind of get comfortable and then throw him in there year 2 or maybe towards the end of year 1 if you feel like he's capable. I think with a premium position like this, you probably want to look quarterback, especially if there's a guy that you like. Because I don't think that they would want to take Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. at like 35 when they're still wide receiver depth. Potentially an offensive tackle or two that's there. So probably want to go ahead and take the quarterback now. So again, I will consider Jaden Daniels for the Patriots.
I'm going back and forth with this one. Just because like I said at the beginning, over the past couple weeks, I've cooled off a bit on the Jaden Daniels hype. Um, I don't know if I would still have him as a top 10 prospect in this class on my board. And considering that, I I now am going to evaluate him. If I'm the Patriots, I'm now evaluating him against the potential quarterbacks in next year's class. And then you have to continue evaluating down the line because next year's class, you never know. So if you keep pushing quarterback down the line, you just have to keep evaluating. Um, because if you're the Patriots, you know that if you don't take a quarterback, you're in a position to where you're either not going to be good, or even if you are like 7 and 10, you're in a position to trade up in next year's draft to select whoever the top quarterback is in that class. Even though it's not looking good so far, but if I'm the Patriots, I have to weigh the decision of is Jaden Daniels better than a Carson Beck or Shador Sanders? And that's the decision I'm trying to make, especially if Marvin Harrison is sitting right here in front of me,
Yep.
or if a trade back scenario from the Vikings, the Giants, or whoever else, the Raiders, Broncos, any of those teams, and may consider trading up to this pick. Do I value Jaden Daniels more than I value the picks plus whoever the quarterback could be next year? Because this isn't a win now team, and I don't think Jaden Daniels is believed to be the quarterback to where you got a short thing, you're definitely building around him for the future. I feel like if you hit your wagon to Jaden Daniels and he doesn't work out, people may lose their jobs.
Yeah.
So, do you want to build up the team around him? It's almost like the argument Brandon makes in the group chat with Drake May, but I think it's more valid with Jaden Daniels. Do you want to build up the team around Jaden Daniels before you actually put him in this situation, or do you just take him and put him in this situation with the Patriots where he has nobody to throw the ball to? The O line is a question. New head coach, defense is questionable. So I would go with either trade back or stick and pick the receiver. But that's one vote each for me there. But I think SportsFan is probably the deciding vote here. I don't know if there's any different scenarios to consider here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Just looking at the team needs, I've been, watching podcasts, watching reports, just seeing what the Patriots kind of looking at doing, and it seems like they're. If you look at every pro day for every quarterback, they've been there at every single one. They've been, talking to quarterbacks, and it seems like they're looking to draft one. But me personally, I feel like they should trade back or take Marvin, but it's just hard for me to predict which team will actually trade up and do it. I've seen reports that the Broncos want to do it. I've seen reports that the Raiders are looking to aggressively trade up to get a quarterback. Of course, the Vikings did it, are looking to do it, and they're at 11, 12, and 13 in the order. Um, I'm gonna probably say the Vikings and just automatically have the best trade package. They'll probably package their 11, their 23, maybe a first round next year if they're really that aggressive. It's probably what it takes, to be honest with you, to get the Patriots to actually move out that spot. Um, but at the same time, like Brian mentioned, them having Jacoby kind of gives them the ability to have the quarterback not exactly in that situation and fail. He can actually take a year, learn from Jacoby, kind of be behind, um, and just kind of watch and grow. Maybe play later in the season. Yeah, it's just no matter what, this team's gonna need a long rebuild. They're not like other teams that's kind of bad up here drafting, like the Chargers or the Cardinals, where they already have a quarterback and you're just adding certain pieces. They don't have a quarterback and they're missing a lot of pieces. So at this point, I feel like they should trade back. Now,
So my question would be, if we make the decision to trade back, how far do you think they're comfortable trading back? Because I feel like if you trade with the Vikings, you're potentially thinking like Christian down the line, where it's like if we go 7-10, we'll have extra ammo for next year in case we need to trade up. But
exactly.
if you trade down to say 6, 9, even, it's one of those things where it's like you probably think you could still get one of the premier prospects while still getting picks for next year.
I was about to say if they trade down to 6,
I don't
depending on
think they
how the
get
board
next year.
falls, you don't ever know how they may feel about JJ. You never know. I mean, they may trade down and just hope that one of the receivers falls to them. But I think 11 is probably the cutoff to answer your question because the Vikings, that package from the Vikings with 2 first-round picks, the Broncos will have to come with like a crazy offer in order to
It
get
Yeah.
them to go down to 12.
it might actually be three. I'm not sure. There's a QB tax on trades and all that. I feel like the
Oh yeah,
Vikings.
to go up to 3, the Vikings definitely have to get rid of a pick next year too. I'm
I'm
just
about to say
saying with
12 and
those two.
13, they would have to give up 3 firsts and probably 2 or 3 seconds just to even be in the conversation.
I I could be wrong. I have to, do the math. I can actually put one of them trade calculator maths. But I feel like if they just trade 11, 23 in a first next year, that should match the value of three with a QB tax. But I'm not sure if the Vikings are looking to do their first next year. They might though, because they're kind of in that situation where they think they're
They
kind
can
of just
win.
one piece away.
I think they can probably compete with. This is a situation for Jaden where the team is kind of built up around him already. You have the number one receiver in the league. You already have Jordan Addison there. The O line is pretty good. The
Hmm.
running game is a bit of a question mark right now, but the defense with Brian Flores played great last year, so you could expect it to kind of continue down the same path. So this is a team where you could envision if they land a Jaden Daniels. This is a QB ready. This is a QB needy team that is also ready to kind of compete in their division already. So I would like the Vikings more for Jaden Daniels than I would for the Patriots. If I'm the Patriots, I'm fielding calls. If the Vikings offer that, I'm accepting it. So is that what we want to do here?
Do we want to trade down? That's what it sounded like. I don't. It sounded like
Hold
there
on,
was
I'm trying.
more support for trading down. Because I know you, Christian. You said either trade down or take Marvin.
I want that. And I don't think the Vikings may not value their first next year as much if they can get that quarterback this year. Um, like I said, this is a team who doesn't have super glaring needs that need to be addressed in the first round. They have their tackles. They would have their quarterback hypothetically. Um, the other needs that you really would need that first round pick for edge, but even then they kind of address that with Grenard, bringing him in. I would look for that Vikings offer if they're offering that to us. I'm accepting it.
Okay. So 11-23 in the first for number 3. Do the Patriots need to throw a pick in there, or
Yeah, they will have to. It'd be two loss. I'm trying to do the math in my head. Actually, when we put it in, it'll show the percentage. Hold on.
okay? Because I was going to ask if you had the value chart like right in front of you while you were able to, but
I was doing looking at the chart, but I've realized it'll just automatically calculate it right here. Hold on.
okay.
Where are they at? Where are the
So
Vikings at?
select the team to trade with pick 11. There we go.
Hmm. Or maybe because maybe because of control both teams, it won't show it. Hmm. Hold on, real quick.
Well, I guess you had to offer it.
Uh,
You could probably throw either 68 or 103 in there because you see the gap in picks.
it just I guess because it's a three, and they need a quarterback. I guess the computer's thinking they're not gonna offer it. So let me pull up the trusty old.
The lovely Jimmy Johnson trade value chart.
You already know, man. You already know. Let me see where it's at. Will be what's the last offer that we've been hearing about? What has been the offer that I think about
Someone in this draft,
for the Vikings? What was the last tweet we heard? I'm trying to remember what the potential trade was.
I think
Is
the
would it be
last one we
done
saw was that
by
game one.
it? Would it just be
I don't know how that works for these.
Try a third
they do
rounder for the Patriots.
first third round from the Patriots?
Okay, that's
That actually equals out based on the math
yeah.
right there without even trading the first next year. Once we trade that first next year, it's a
So
lopsided for the Patriots. But
let's
that's
see what
it.
the fourth does. Let's see what the fourth and six does.
Honestly, we can force a trade. This is our draft. We got to.
Okay, so you might have to give up another pick in 2025.
I'm saying this difference right here, they're saying you're basically just getting 143. So it seems like the Patriots are kind of winning that, in my opinion. That's what you're kind of
Yeah, I'm about
giving
to say
up.
this is lopsided. That's what I'm trying to think.
You think this is lopsided? This is pretty close, all things considered. Mm,
So they're saying the pick value gain is a fifth rounder.
mhm.
Hmm.
It's pretty even.
Yeah, this is pretty even. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but I say unless you want to throw a 137 or 180 in there, we can.
Nah, at that point, I mean, that's actually pretty damn you. But at the same time, I'm thinking of the QB tax, so this should be favorable for the Patriots because it's a QB tax.
All right, so we can go first, third, and fourth then. First, third, and
And
fourth,
then
or
they
first, third,
and
and fifth, whichever one you think
they
works
will
better.
they end up getting three first. Yeah, that could work. So what
Yeah, it
was it
looks like we
again?
got it right
Was that
there.
was that
38
this
and
year?
103, 68 and 103.
Is it 103, 3, 11? Yeah, we go force that. All right. Make sure I'm reading this right if I fuck this whole shit up. All right.
All right, so now we have the Vikings on the clock.
Vikings on the clock.
So now my question
But
is Jaden the pick?
Hell nah.
We're on the same page here, JG. I like this.
Hell nah. I think they go
Are y'all going
JJ.
with JJ?
I think they take JJ because he fits the offense more to me.
Okay, it's cool.
What do you think, Mingles?
I would go Jaden here just because I think he is the slightly higher upside prospect, but it's 2-1, so y'all win.
Well, what were you thinking, JG? Since I kind of just
I mean, it's simple. JJ kind of fits the offense better. Yeah, Jaden, he has, I guess more talent, but just based on the scheme and who's been the quarterback before there, I don't think it really derives off the talent of the QB. It's more so the accuracy and the smarts of the QB, in my opinion, and just what JJ has shown on third down and fourth down in pressure situations at Michigan. I feel like that kind of fits the offense a lot better than what Jaden has showed. Especially throwing over the middle, like we both said, it's kind of been iffy for him throwing over the middle. He's shown he can doing it. I've seen about a 2 minute clip of him doing it, but it's
Mhm.
like you've been in
Every
college for
throw.
4 years. You've been in college for 4 years, and you have 2 minutes showing you throwing over the middle. That is a problem. So I'm going with JJ because he's been showing he's been doing it for 2 seasons now and doing it at a very high level. Almost, I want to say, I think it was Trevor Sigma. One of them on that podcast, they was like on third down or like just in general throw in the middle. JJ has literally been the highest efficient, most efficient quarterback in the draft coming out. So I'll pick JJ.
that's good.
Uh,
I was also gonna say, um, we saw last year. Obviously, Kirk was the better quarterback, but like we saw the extra dimension that Joshua Dobbs brought when he got traded over. So being able to project that a little bit more on a JJ McCarthy, who's probably just as athletic, but you would say is closer to a Kirk Cousins in his precision passing, but also
yeah,
having that extra layer of athleticism. I think that fits the Vikings offense a little more, especially if we are calling him a Brock Purdy with traits.
I've heard him compared to Kirk Cousins, a faster Kirk Cousins. I've also heard that. So I mean, it
They
all
lied.
falls in line
Cool.
perfectly. Going with
They
JJ.
lied, but that's cool. We can do that. That's a lie, but we can do that.
My fault. My fault.
All right, so
Shake
We're
it
talking
up a
about
little bit, man.
I'm gonna ask
Cardinals.
JG before we
Yeah,
do this because I have an idea, but I got to hear from you
yeah.
first.
You got an idea? That's cool. I think at this point, with Jaden still on the clock, we're asking the Giants would they trade up. Um, at this point, me personally, based on all the reports I've heard and who we're doing for visits, who we've been talking to, I feel like we have the top three wide receivers kind of grouped together.
Yeah.
So if the Giants want to offer some actually really good, they come to get Jaden, they probably will do it. And then who knows, they might trade up with the Chargers to get Marvin if they really want Marvin, or they might just stay and pick Roman Malik at 5, 6. So kind of depends on what Monty sees value wise. If we stay here, we're taking Marvin, of course. No doubt about it. That's been penciled in since shit before the season started that we was trying to get Marvin. They just also thought at the same time we was gonna have Marvin and Caleb, huh?
Hmm.
Now looking at that Texans pick, look at that way down here. Ain't they nice? But yeah, I'll probably take Marvin here if we stay, but I'm leaning toward just staking and taking Marvin. I've seen the Cardinals try to like outthink themselves before and not take Adrian Peterson when he's right there and taking
Hmm.
an old lineman or based off need or taking some other DN over Terrell Suggs. I've seen them do this. Just if you're there, just take the player that's available to you. Not overthink this one. We of course end up trading back last year and trading back up to get the offensive tackle we wanted,
Yeah.
offensive tackle we wanted, Paris Johnson, but I can't guarantee that's going to be possible again, especially with the Chargers, basically kicking their whole wide receiver core to the curb in like a week. So I would take Marvin personally. I'll let y'all kind of discuss what y'all think.
All right. Right before you go, Chris. So I'm thinking about this now because I'm like, yeah, I would obviously as the guy who has rooted interest in pick six. This would be a great position for us to trade up. But in my head, I'm thinking the two quarterback needy teams that are closest to us are both in the same division as pick five. So do we really need to trade up to pick five? I mean, do we really need to trade up to pick four? Because
Yeah,
because
that's
I
the other
doubt the
thing.
Chargers are trading with the Broncos or the Raiders.
At this point, we kind of lost like that that Yeah, another team's going to trade him and take the quarterback instead. I think it's just the Giants at this point. I don't think the Broncos have the ammunition to do it. They don't have the first round pick next year, I believe. Somebody correct me on that. I don't think they have the first round pick next year. Maybe don't have their second or something like that. Um, Actually, I can see. Hold on. What do the Broncos have?
While you're doing that,
They don't have their
what,
second. Ah,
next
oof.
year? Oh,
They don't have the
oh,
second
The
this
second
year.
this
this
year.
year.
Yeah.
Oh,
They have two picks in the top 100. Oh, top 100
yeah.
team.
So they only got 2 picks in the top 100 this year. They don't have enough to trade up as
They
high.
don't have. And
Um,
then the other team would be the Raiders, but I don't think they would do it at this point.
if I'm the Cardinals, like you kind of said, there's literally nothing wrong with sticking and selecting the All Pro talent. Um, I get it. Like during the actual draft, that Monty's phone is going to be blowing up off the hook, stuff like that. And like if there's an offer that you simply cannot refuse, but I don't want them to trade themselves out of getting one of these elite talents,
Yeah.
especially at the receiver position, because this is such a big need and it's kind of something that they have ignored through free agency. So it's very clear that this is a need that needs to be addressed in the draft and needs to be addressed early, and it probably needs to be addressed multiple times throughout the draft. Um, and they're not lacking for picks. Um, you
At all.
can't you can't keep rolling the ball. I don't know what the phrase is, but you can't just
Rolling the ball
worry
down the
about
hill or something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
One,
like
two,
you
three,
can't
four,
keep
five,
hoping for it
seven.
next year. You're in a perfect position to select the best wide receiver prospect we've seen in years, and so I
Mm,
think they do it here. I do think they're supposed to take the call. You'd be
of
stupid
course.
not to if you're picking four in a quarterback deep class like this. But I don't think they're going to get the call that is. You can't field more than 53 men. They already got plenty of picks this year. Sit
Yeah.
here, especially if the draft falls out like this, where it's not many teams who are really able to trade up to four. And
Mm-hmm.
if the Vikings deal is off the table and I'm the Cardinals, I'm making the pick. And so if these two first rounders this year are not on the table for pick four, just go ahead, take Marvin at four.
And I
I
agree with
agree.
y'all on that one. So
Yeah, we can take Marvin. Just want to add, I've seen a lot of reports coming out that every single team is looking to trade up to four. I just believe if it happens, it won't happen to trade day, in my opinion, to trade day until draft day,
yeah.
like happened last year. Um, we'll see it happen real fast, and then you'll get a live reaction from me if some bullshit happens. But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like if any trades happen before the draft, it would be with pick three. That would be about it.
Yeah, same for me. I got nothing else to add.
All right,
Draft
so we can
process.
lock in Marvin at four. Then the good old Chargers on the clock.
So my only consideration here, if we're not going receiver, is potentially trading down to 9 and 10. But I'm assuming we're all thinking they're going to take Malik Neighbors here.
Yeah, the Bears don't have enough picks to trade up, I don't think. And I mean, I'm leaning Malika Neighbors. I'm fine with either one of the receivers if you
Yeah.
guys choose to go with Rome. But if I'm the Chargers, like I've been saying for the last couple of years, they need speed on this offense. They need explosiveness. They need downfield threats. They killed the receiver room. I think last time we did the draft, I think Keenan was still on roster.
I
Yeah.
think they had their whole receiver room last time we did the
And
draft.
so now that we're drafting and they have Mike Williams on the Jets currently and Keenan Allen is a Bear,
Yep.
the trade back idea was cool, but like we said earlier with the Cardinals, if the draft falls out like this to where the trade up teams are just already gone for the most part, the Vikings are gone. I don't think the Patriots are going to trade back up if they traded out of the three spot. It would be masterful work if they were able to get Jaden Daniels at 5 if they wanted him. But I think just sit here, take Malik. If you guys have another receiver, if you guys think they should take Rome, I'm cool with that. But I think receiver is the position they should address. Malik gets my vote.
Yeah, I if they already didn't draft Quinn Johnson last year and then still have Joshua Palmer on the roster, I could probably because Joshua Palmer's still on the roster, right? He gotta
Yeah.
be. I'm
Yeah. He's
sure
still
he
there. He's still there.
just height wise and build wise, they're kind of similar to Rome. They're very different level of players,
Very
compared to Rome,
worried.
size wise. Um, they're very similar, and I'll probably go Malik. They need that explosive threat, deep threat that, and they also need somebody who can just kind of get open really and actually do something with the ball in their hands that they really don't have right now. Who knows what Quentin Johnson could be? Maybe he's working real hard right now. He might be training right now. But he still has a long way to go, and I believe Malik Neighbors has a high floor and ceiling than Quinn Johnson. They need a receiver badly. Um, if Mike Williams and Keenan Allen still on his roster, and they didn't want to trade down, Brock Bowers wouldn't be a crazy pick either, in my opinion, for them. But at this point, they need a receiver, and I will go Malik.
All
All
right,
right.
so it
Is
sounds like
that
we're
3-0?
looking at Malik Neighbors for pick number 5. Pick 6, I think this is pretty simple. I mean, I'll let y'all, talk first, but I feel like we all know what pick is here.
We can really
Yes,
say about the vote against drafting Jaden Daniels. But no, if this scenario actually pops up in the Giants' lap, they got to sprint the card in.
yeah,
Address
they
the quarterback position
got to take
because
Cooper DeJean.
hey, Brock Bowers is 6. Darren Waller playing next year? Oh, yeah.
We do
See,
not know.
Yes,
Apparently, he's
man.
still
Brock
undecided.
Bowers or a
Tight ends
quarterback?
had two tight ends that can't block.
I feel like there's enough tight end depth, as we kind of talked about in the last episode, that you could probably get away with not picking Brock Bowers, even as
Bro,
special as a talent as he is.
Spencer Rattler.
you're getting Jaden Daniels, man. Congratulations.
Congrats. You've
They're
won.
gonna think we rigged it for you, but this just happened naturally.
Yeah, I'm
This
gonna
is
make
definitely gonna look rigged
keep
when
talking
Jaden
about it.
said it.
Yeah,
But it's
we're
okay.
gonna get comments about this one for sure.
You know what's crazy about them comments though? If you look at any mock draft by anybody, even the day before the draft, they get like 5 or 6 picks right. It don't really matter, man. It's a
Not
mock
mine.
draft. Anyway, it
I
could
say
have shake out
they'll
just like
probably.
that.
I'm sure there'll be one person to be like, "I'm a Minnesota fan, and I would want Jaden Daniels instead of JJ McCarthy." So
And I'm gonna tell them, turn on the film and tell me why you think that. Like, break down why you think that fits your offense. When Jaden,
he's
please
my
go to the
QB
comments.
3.
I will respond to each comment myself. So please type that shit in the comments. I beg you. But yeah, Jaden Daniels falling to the Giants, kind of exactly what they needed, and it's a perfect situation with Jaden really because he doesn't have to start this year. They're
And
gonna
you
throw
can
Daniel Jones
allow
out.
Drew Lock to be the bridge quarterback, so you don't even need
No,
Daniel
no, no,
Jones
no,
to
no.
play.
Ooh,
Daniel Jones cannot play. Daniel
Thank you.
Jones
He
cannot
can't play. That's the
play.
point. Drew
If he
Lock has
gets
to be the quarterback.
hurt, his contract is guaranteed next
oh
year.
my God, that's that Kyler thing again.
He
No,
cannot play.
man.
They need to be able to cut him next year, so he cannot play. They need to find every
Christian,
possible way.
CT get it.
Yeah.
CT
No, no,
understands
no.
it.
Yeah, because
You think they could really do it though? Would they really let Daniel Jones do that? Just not play?
if
If you
Jaden,
want to cut him next year,
they have to cut Daniel Jones
You
next
gotta
year.
build his trade value.
Ain't no trade value for Daniel Jones. He is simply getting cut, and that's okay.
Oh man, he might be a Denver Bronco. I don't know.
They might need him.
No,
I don't think
actually, no, they not. Wait till we get to pick 12. They ain't gonna need a quarterback.
either them or Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, Vegas.
Wait till they get to pick 12. They ain't gonna need a quarterback. Watch this.
1 o'clock.
But
Tennessee. What y'all want to do with Tennessee, man?
I feel like
let me just start off. Can I just start off by saying, you know, the Titans kind of running their organization as like most people would in like Madden
Yes.
franchise. They're trading for elite players, signing just the best free agent available. And then you look at the quarterback room and it's a 68 overall looking at you. And you're just like, is this really how you build a team? I don't know. I think the Titans got to be must watch because when you're signing Tully Pollard, you you let an aging running back go to get a off an injured running back. Calvin really he cool. D Hop about 2 years older than him. I don't know how that's possible. Calvin really is only
that's
like 2 years
insane.
D Hop. Um, and you still got Traylon Burks. He a slot
Uh,
receiver, I guess.
you doing something?
That's the crazy thing about the way this board shook out. Because like obviously in the last draft, as we talked about, as JG so eloquently put it, Will Levis was getting RKO'd and pedigree last year.
Really?
But there's also Roma Dunze sitting right there. But you did just pay Calvin Ridley, so it would look a little crazy if you drafted
Yeah.
him.
Walk the card in with Joe Alt's name on it, man.
Yeah, Joe Alt, man, he walks in immediately as the best offensive lineman on the team, and that's no disrespect to Peter Skronsky. He was really, decent last year, but just value-wise from a guard to offensive tackle, the value is going to be immense. And towards the end of the season, like Brian said, I was watching them tie a game when they came on red zone. It was in the fourth quarter, and Will Levis was trying to make a game-winning drive. I swear he hiked the ball, and by the time he finished his drop back in the shotgun, he was already getting smacked in the face. So it was really like special to see a dude get fucked up that much. So I can't let Will Levis go through that. They need to see what they have in Will, and they only have what 3 more seasons left because he wasn't a first round pick. So they got to see what they have in him,
He
and you
only
got to
got
get.
one more season. He
I'm
got
trying. I'm
he
trying.
got to convince him next year. He has to. He's a second round pick.
Hmm.
You know what's crazy? The problem is the way the team is now. I
They're
think
supposed to win.
I think they're just good enough that even if Will is like mid to ass, they'll probably get 7 wins, just because the team is actually that good on paper now. Which now
Exactly.
puts them
If that happens, he's getting replaced.
by who though?
I
That's the
don't know.
problem.
QB3 probably.
Somebody becomes available every
They
year.
can't draft QB3 to replace Will Levis. Who's QB3 next year? Is it
Jalen
is it
Milrow.
Quinn? Is it Quinn Ayers? Quinn Ears?
It's Jalen Milrow. But
Oh goodness gracious!
or
I
is
Goodness.
say
it
unless they're
sure?
trading up, I guess you would have to say QB3. GG.
No. I mean, they're who's a free Dak. Oh, hey, that's a
Mm,
good cook right there. Dak to
yeah,
Tennessee. Yeah,
I think I don't even know what would be
Dak and Dashner
sadder.
might be crazy. Just from a
I don't know if
personality
it'd be
standpoint,
sadder for the
he might fit that
Titans
city.
fans. Titans fans are going from the potential Will Levis to Dak.
He's the
I'm
guy
just
you can
saying.
win
If
with.
Dak
That's
stayed
just Matt
available,
all over again.
nah.
Nah,
They already did it. They did that
There's
thing
no.
already.
you can win with Dak
Real.
though.
There was no real belief in Tannehill.
You could, yes, it was, bro. Believe you're
No.
lying.
I'm
You're
a,
lying. You're lying. You're
Dak
lying on
is about to
Tannehill's
come off
name.
2 back-to-back MVP level seasons, though. He's about to play great this year off a contract year. They're gonna love it.
What are you talking about? Regular season. Tannehill was very decent in regular season. They
Decent
got to the
versus
AFC Championship
level.
and they lost to the Chiefs. Don't forget
Well,
that. That
they weren't supposed to get that far, and everybody knew that was fake.
That was
Everybody knew
straight.
that
That
was
was straight Derrick Henry runs. That's how they got there. Because
you are
Tannehill didn't
lying.
even do anything against the Ravens.
What the next? I mean, that was the come on now. That was like the rematch. We all knew the Ravens had to get back for what happened the year before, and Derrick Henry was
No, but that's my
making.
point. When they beat the Ravens, it's not like Tannehill did anything. It was Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry some more.
What you think that going to do?
and they don't know
Make
that.
them throws.
They don't know
Make
that.
them throws in the
Don't let them.
playoffs? Yeah,
Don't
we
let them
seen
actually
that
win
do
the
that, huh?
MVP.
Yeah,
I have to represent my namesake here. So
you
I'm trying to big up Dak a little here.
You're right. My fault.
Don't let
Let's
them
take Joe
actually.
up, man. Hope Will do something this season. The problem is my worst fear is even though I like Will Levis, I think he's the type of quarterback that if if he really gets the full range of the offense, he'll throw 30 touchdowns, 25 picks, and he'll somehow be that guy that gets an extension that doesn't deserve it. And then we're gonna be talking about this in like a few years, like how did Will Levis last this long on this team? But Jay Cutler, man, he
Buy
has that
himself
type
another
of
year.
influence. You said what?
Said buy himself another year.
Man, another year. He bought himself 3 years. Titans get the playoffs this year. They're gonna get that man a 4-year contract.
As they should.
No, they shouldn't. No,
If
they
he gets to the
shouldn't.
playoffs in the AFC South as the fourth best quarterback in the division, he deserved it.
And he is the fourth. Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that division got wild real fast, huh?
Because Trevor's
That division
third.
got crazy real fast. He should
Trevor's
be
third.
third over who? I know you're not
Trevor's.
talking about
You
Trevor.
know who he's
Oh my
putting there. You know he's putting
god.
second.
I said
Talking about
Trevor's third.
Anthony Richards second?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Come on now.
Let's move next to the
Playoff
next.
quarterback.
The
You would
Falcons, me personally, man, they got the knees right here, man. Defense and real simple. We go down to cornerback. I don't know what these dudes are doing up here. They
I say
even taking
Christian did take I think who is our consensus CB1 in the last mock draft. Um my only
Kenyon.
my only question, I know we're looking defense.
mhm.
But who is their wide receiver to?
It don't matter.
Hmm.
Kyle Pitts.
No, who is their wide receiver? So that's a good question.
Let me look it up. I'm actually curious myself now. You got me thinking. I
why
I
is it?
want to say
Why
Matt
isn't that a
Collins,
need?
but it's not Matt Collins no more. I don't know who it is.
I don't think it's
Who
Van
was
Jefferson, even though I re-signed him on Madden.
They be
the
something else.
problem is though, let's say you draft a receiver, right? And then you can't go into a serious season with the same pass rush you had last year, minus Clayton Campbell. I just don't believe they can do that.
Good
I just
point.
don't
Good
believe.
point.
Oh, Mooney. They got Mooney. Darren Mooney.
Ah,
Solid
Yeah,
wide receiver too. Hold up now. Don't forget about Rondell Moore now.
I forgot
yeah.
they made that trade.
That's the
Yeah,
receiver, bro. Yeah, stop
Rondell
looking at
Moore.
the receiver, I guess.
Rondell Moore is
Um,
actually not good, but
my vote is for Latu or Kenyon. I'll let y'all.
I'm right there
I
damn.
think.
with you, CT.
My vote is the same positions, but two completely different players. It's both the Alabama guys right here, in my opinion.
Oh,
I
Why
oh,
Dallas Turner? Why Dallas Turner?
Dallas Turner and Terrian.
feel like just I know Latu is a better pass rusher, but just explosive wise, I feel like Dallas Turner kind of fits what they're probably looking for because they have a lack of just like real athletes on that D line. Um, so I probably feel like they lean Dallas Turner. I can't be mad at
I
Latu
could
though, but
so
the thing that got me Arnold over Mitchell, I think the small school bias will hurt Mitchell personally for the Falcons. But yeah,
even
both
after
said
the
Mitchell.
combine,
Yeah, even after the combine, man, Arnold just came in there. He did what he had to do as an Alabama cornerback, and until proven wrong, I'm gonna believe in the Alabama cornerback. What's the
I
last
understand the
Alabama
helmet
cornerback?
scouting. I'm with you, but I feel like I don't know if Christian said it or if it was, I believe Christian said it, but I think some teams may have Arnold start out in the slot, and I feel like for Atlanta, you wouldn't have a bona fide guy on that outside, opposite of AJ Terrell.
Boy, they put 6 foot 196 Arnold in the slot. Then I mean, I don't know. I mean, fuck it at that point.
Actually, I
I
mean,
don't. I mean, I I I mean, him and Arnold and Mitchell have the same measurements. I mean,
I know, but Arnold's hips aren't as fluid. He's not the athlete that Mitchell is as well.
okay. If we're
But
picking
a lot
outside
of the
corner,
pre-draft talk for Arnold prior to him running that, because we running a 40 or four
He ran like
four
a
four
four or
five.
five, I think.
I think prior to that, a lot of people had him in that slot role. I
4.5.
still, yeah, I still,
4.4.
I don't know if it was a 4.45 or a 4.5
I
flat,
think he ran like a
but it
four or
was.
five flat or 4.51. I'm gonna check the sheet.
And then when he ran that, a lot of people said that's a good time for him. So that just tells me the lack of, well, not lack of, because 4.5 is still a good time, but it's just not the high end speed that you have seen out of the recent top cornerback prospects.
He ran a
But for
4.5
Kenya,
flat with a 1.54 10-yard split.
You know what? Hey,
yeah.
that's pretty nice.
And then for Kenyon to come in and run that 4.3, and his display at the Senior Bowl is really what put him on a lot of people's radar. That's why I have him over Terrian for my CB1. That Senior Bowl performance, he was locking people up down there. Locking people up, making plays on the ball as well. He wasn't just deflecting them; he was getting picks. And these weren't just the random, Senior Bowl receivers. These were like some of the bigger names. Roman Wilson, he was locking up down there. So I have Kenyon. So my vote would be for Kenyon or Latu. I do think after the last draft I gave them Kenyon.
Yeah.
So we could give him Latu here. So I'll place my official vote for Latu, but I'm fine with Kenyon Latu. I don't really like Arnold in the top 10 just because he doesn't scream having the athletic upside for a top 10 cornerback. I think he's good. I just don't know his ceiling.
So
And it's good though.
so I could definitely see them taking an edge player because we kind of had that conversation in the last episode. Only reason why I'm gonna put Quinyon in as my pick because I feel like we're all three of us are more comfortable taking him than like Turner or Latu, like just from a prospect perspective, because it sounds like we're split on Turner and Latu. Because we feel because it seems like with Jalen, it's like he fits them athletically, like his athletic profile fits. While like me and you, CT, are like, well, Latu's the edge one. He's got the probably got more pure pass rush moves and can probably be more productive right away.
I
So
think Sports goes the same way. I think he was just saying, but I think Latu's his edge one as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
That
I think he just like Turner's fit for the Falcons better,
well, that's what I was trying
and
to
that's
say. I
fair.
wasn't trying to say that he doesn't have him as edge one, but yeah,
I think I think the question is if we're the Falcons, what do we believe in more in the second round? Do we like edge or corner better in the second round? And then
there's
that's how
probably
I
more depth in the corner
pick here.
corner side.
yeah, I'll go edge.
So we can go edge here. So do we
So
want to do
Latu sounds like the pick
Latu
then.
All right, Latu it is.
and come back in the second round, and then they can address corner there.
In
Bears.
Chicago, they're popping bottles of champagne. Uh,
That's he's sitting
things are
right
looking up.
there. Finish that
Um,
receiver room.
they go with Rome, and now they have one of the best receivers rooms in the league for Caleb Williams to walk into.
Two outside receivers and a slot guy. Already established.
Yeah. It's hard to turn that down. I would listen to offers though, just because they have so few picks in this draft. Um, if somebody is dying to trade up for Rome or one of the tackles, like out of the mid to late 20s, but if we're sticking and picking, I don't see an issue with going with Rome because I don't think there's anybody on the defensive line that I could see them drafting here this early.
I agree. With Rome.
This
Man, I
next
don't
pick,
like
I
that.
feel like it's.
I don't like that. Ugh.
I feel like this is
You know what?
between two players.
Rome, DJ, and Keenan, and you can just all move them around in different places.
Yeah,
All
I,
of them can play slot. All of them can play outside. Goodness
Yeah, we
gracious.
scrapping that. I'm not worried about none of that.
Okay. Jets.
I'm glad you saw the same thing,
Yes.
JG, because I'm thinking it's either going to be a tackle or it's going to be Brock Bowers. So the question becomes,
Man, they dropped by bro.
how long do you expect Tyron Smith to play? I guess that would be the question.
About 3 quarters.
So then it's probably good to take Olu here. But this is going to be an Aaron Rodgers pick, so
Who's their right tackle?
Me.
is
Say
it
nah,
not
it's
Becton or is it
No,
not
they're
Morgan
gonna bring it
Moses?
back. It is more. No, it is Morgan Moses.
It
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah. So
I think like that us.
huh?
Beckman's not on the team no more. I swear he's not.
He's not. It's Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith as their
I thought
tackles.
Becton was on the team. My fault, yo.
No, you're good. I just don't know where he went now. Is he a free
He's
agent?
nowhere. He's nowhere. I don't
You know,
think
I'm mad. He's still a superstar.
superstar
Yeah.
84.
Yeah, good stuff.
I think having Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith could, it works both ways. Maybe you draft a tackle and then you have a guy that can be coached by some of the better tackles from the 2010s, and we're in 2024. Or maybe you say that tackle isn't necessarily a need this calendar year, and maybe you address tackle in the second round. Maybe you get a tackle in the second round, and then maybe you splurge on what you may consider a luxury pick by adding Brock Bowers to the offense that the only real hole is probably like that tight end position where you don't have that real dynamic threat. Either way, if tackle's a decision for you guys, I think we just have to determine who we're going to take. I don't know if I like Olu here. No, I do think I kind of like Olu here because if we're going with that, the bridge tackles, and Olu could probably benefit from sitting, honestly.
Because I feel like here you're looking left tackle. Like before the Tyron Smith pick, I think last mock draft, JG picked Fuaga because we both thought they would be looking for a tackle on the right side, and and I had already taken Olu off the board, but it sounded like JG would have went with Olu if he was still on the board. Am I incorrect there, JG?
That is cool. I would pick Olu myself.
So, who we got? Y'all like Olu here?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So I'll put it this way: we would take Olu, but Aaron Rodgers is probably asking for Brock Bowers. So
Yeah.
we will take
Rodgers
Olu,
smart.
but
Then we tell Aaron to shut the fuck up.
like I
That's
He
said,
would
we
know
are
that
taking Olu, but
those two tackles that he currently has are playing about 18 games combined.
they're
So
hitting
he's
18.
combined 9 each.
I don't
Now
think they
Morgan
can.
Moses is gonna play. It's Tyron Smith.
How many games Tyron Smith plays? For like literally 8. He might
Okay,
actually play 8.
8,
It's
and then
enough.
what's that? 10 from Morgan Moses because he coming off an injury too. He just had surgery.
Oh Lord.
Oh, y'all ain't
Oh,
that. Y'all ain't know that. Yeah, Morgan Moses, Baltimore traded him and said, "Oh yeah, he got he just had an operation."
he's coming off injury, dead ass.
Yes, he just had surgery. I don't remember what body part, but he had an operation. He's recovering. Currently
Oh,
rehabbing.
OTAs are next month.
surgery on torn pec, March 20th.
Yeah, I told you, man.
That's
What's sneaky
insane.
from the Ravens?
The
Mm-mm-mm.
Ravens on February 2nd, Ravens Morgan Moses could have shoulder surgery. No report in between then and March 20th saying he had surgery on torn pec. How do you clear a physical?
Shoulder torn. It's the
They
same
must have
thing.
told him to rest. They must have been like, rest it up,
They,
get a second opinion.
they told him to use the right method.
Expects to be ready for camp. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take Olu.
No
Probably one of
questions
them stay
asked.
healthy. Yeah, I'm not even gonna think about it. Now, pitch back on the clock.
Dang, them again.
This
Let's see.
might be it might be too early to take receivers. So we
Let me
could
see.
go ahead. So we could sit here and go tackle maybe. Go back to tackle, try to find a guy. Because
I
they
don't see.
did sign
I'm
Onwenu to be their right tackle. I don't know
about
who
to.
their left tackle is because Trent Brown went to Cincinnati, I think.
It would have to be Faatanu. Nobody else is a left tackle of these
Yeah,
top.
about right tackle, right tackle, right tackle, right tackle.
Faatanu's stock has been rising recently.
Yeah.
And since he's probably the highest on the board currently, who can play or has successfully played left tackle. If tackle's the pick, I'll place my vote for Faatanu. I'm not opposed to wide receiver here. I'll just say that. It may seem a little early, but I'm not opposed to it. With
Yeah,
Brian
I'll pick Troy too.
Thomas, AD Mitchell's.
I feel like this might be, if they thought about it, you could try to see if you could trade down to 14 or 15. Because 14, a lot of people have been mocking offensive tackles. And
Yeah, they
15,
need
of
one there.
course, in the last
I
draft,
don't think
there's corners sitting there. And, Brock Bowers is still sitting there. So
with
you could go
the
either way if
tackle.
you're Indy.
To be honest with you, the tackles available, I don't think 14 would make sense for them to trade up with the Saints or the Colts to trade up. I think there's like after you take Troy, there's 3 good tackles left, 4 if you like Barden as a tackle,
Yeah.
another if you like Guyton, another if you like Jordan Morgan. I seen a lot of hype about Kingsley, so I don't really think the Saints would reach up here to get a tackle. They need a tackle on either side really, because one on the left ain't that good. They drafted the other one on the right might miss the season apparently.
Yeah, Ramczyk, it's up to his career up to God right now,
Hmm.
Yeah, they say he cannot play again. So
and nobody knows.
yes, that's the Saints, man. They just send that cap face the next season, worry about it, and then just pray everybody can play. And it don't really work out, but they just don't. They refuse to rebuild. We're gonna see how this goes.
Just keep kicking the
Yeah,
can. Keep it kicking the can down the road.
There we go. That's the expression. That
yeah.
expression I was looking for an hour ago.
Cap space don't work. I mean, cap space don't exist, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Let's write let's write Troy's name in Faatanu
Yes,
and
indeed. Now
Denver Broncos.
let me pitch something here.
Oh gosh.
I feel like, based on everything I heard from Sean Payton so far,
Oh my gosh.
and what type of quarterback he will like,
No.
and what he
No.
I think at pick
No.
12, they take Bo Nix.
Oh no, that's not good.
The fact
Tell-
that I've
That's not what
seen
I
Mel
wanted to
Kiper
hear.
mock it, so I could definitely see it being possible. But
He's not the only one to mock that. It's actually the most popular mock pick for him right now.
yeah,
It's
but I'm
Bo
just
Nix.
saying you got to check. Cooper DeJean is sitting right here. Terrion Arnold sitting right here. Nate
Brian,
Wiggins
who's
is sitting
playing
right here. Like you could pair somebody up to go with Patrick Surtain.
You hear me out though. I hear what you're saying, but hear me out. They have Jarrett Stidham at QB1. They
Whose fault is
cannot
that?
go with Jarrett Stidham. I
Us.
man,
We're the
the
Broncos.
person
It's our fault. I take ownership.
the GM both was George Patton the GM when they traded for us?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
him. It's his fault. Now he has to lie in the bet that he made.
And we have no
So
second round pick, so I guess we do need to take a quarterback here. We ain't got no
yeah, it's
choice.
not like Bo Nix gonna be gone in a second. Penix gonna be gone in a second. We taking either Michael Penix or we taking Bo Nix. There's nothing else they
I
can
mean,
do
it's
right
gonna
now.
be Bo Nix if we're taking a quarterback here. We kind of have no
No.
choice because we don't have a second rounder.
Penix.
I don't know.
We
Michael
just
Penix on
saw.
a 4-5 today.
We just
Who
saw
knows?
Michael Penix run a 4.5 40 today. Stock is up.
That
Michael
might
pick.
to Sean Payne. That might hurt his stock.
Might try
But
to
Bo
make his
Nix
own.
can move too, so that wouldn't.
I mean, unless Michael Penix gonna play tight end. You know, he like his QB tight end hybrids. So
Speaking of tight ends, Brock Bowers. I'm just playing. Just playing. They're not
Brock
gonna take a
Bowers
tight
is
end.
there, but that'd be so insane.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm with you, JG. I forgot they didn't have a second round pick, so yeah, they're gonna have to take a quarterback here if they're gonna take one.
So I'm placing my vote for Michael Penix.
I'm placing my vote for Bo Nix. Come on, be serious.
Brian.
And as the tiebreaker, even though he is my quarterback 6, we're taking Bo Nix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean,
Nobody is true to their board. Man. This is so
I don't. I can stay true to my board I want, but I know Sean Payne, the quarterback he wants. It's
I mean, if
Bo
I
Nix.
stayed true to my
But look,
board,
AJ
Jaden Daniels would have went third.
I'm about to say we sticking to the board, man. This shit ain't happening up here. This shit ain't happening. So, I mean, I
who's
like
up?
to have a little realism, a little saying, a
Oakland.
little.
Oakland. Goodness gracious. They got a QB competition with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, so I think we can steer away from that. They think they got it. So
They're rocking with Gardner Minshew, man. They really are.
O'Connell
Well, I
might
know.
win the
I
job.
believe last time JG
Aiden
took.
O'Connell is not winning that QB battle.
If Gardner Minshew wins it, then just don't play. Don't play the season.
What you mean? The Colts were one game away from the. Well, they were literally in the
That's
winner
Anthony Richardson's team. They was playing for AR5.
So if Joe
They're not
Flacco's in there
playing
playing
for,
like the last 5 games of the season, what do we
They're not
say?
playing for Devontae Adams. Max
Nah,
Crosby?
if this not the year Devontae get traded, he might as well retire like Aaron Donald.
Bro, Devontae's cashing checks. He's not retiring anytime soon.
So this is his prime corner situation for sure. Just because last time I believe Jalen was thinking Cooper DeJean, but then he took Terrion Arnold. But Quinyon Mitchell is on this board right now, so I feel like based on the way they play their defense. Jalen's shaking his head, so I don't know if he.
I'm thinking they go tackle. I don't know.
Tackle. Who's on the other side of Colton Miller?
Exactly.
Let me check.
Exactly. When you look, can you read it to me? I want to laugh. It should bring some humor to my life.
Man.
Let me look. Actually, my damn.
As of right now, it is Thayer Munford Jr.
Who the fuck is that?
I think he went to Ohio State.
Ohio State.
But he's
You
more
go
like
Ohio State. I don't know your name. That's a little crazy.
Yeah, because they let the right tackle they had last year go to the Giants. So yeah, so I guess this might be a prime time for Ty Lewis.
I'm not married to the idea. This idea they could take corner. Go with the Gene Clean Mitchell is right here. I'll let y'all decide kind of what position we go with, and I'll just pick
Kenyon is higher on the Mingles board. That is my vote. Kenyon Mitchell.
All right, Kenyon Mitchell it is then.
Yeah, we can go with that.
I'll go play tackle. Saints. All right, tackle.
Definitely tackle.
He's the best one
I
available.
like Talise. Do I
You
do I
think he
like
can
Baker?
play left tackle if Ramczyk is able to get it together?
I know
No,
Latham can play left tackle.
no.
I know Mims can play left tackle.
Latham not playing left tackle.
No, I'm just saying he's played left tackle in college before. That's all I'm saying. Not this
Yes.
year. I'm just saying in general because they asked him about it during his pro day.
That's every year, right there. 0-0-0.
Okay.
He
Well, I
must be
don't know
talking about
why he
practice.
said what he said in the quote because he said he could play left
Oh,
tackle,
yeah.
left guard. I think he said he can play center.
You listening to his words?
When they say that, all the times gonna say that because they gonna show that they have
It's a
position
job interview, man.
ability. But what he really means is in practice, I did some drop steps from the left side of the line for the one time, and
What
the
is
coaches
what is Talise's positional thing?
right
See,
tackle,
yeah.
right
Straight right
tackle, left
tackle.
tackle.
Oh no, man.
Hold up,
What is
here's
Amarius?
Graham
What is
Barton.
Amarius?
Left tackle. They're
What's
not
Amarius is,
Amarius? What's Amarius? Because the last time I said Graham Barton, everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
Same thing. 0 left tackles.
Tyler Guyton. I
Tyler
know we're
Guyton.
getting
That's
like real low
Oklahoma
on the
left
board.
tackle.
I mean, he plays some snap left tackle, but they're not gonna draft him this high. The
Yeah, I
thing
think this
is,
feels like a Tylese pick.
they take whatever tackle they get at this point. They need bodies in that room. They need
Yeah.
somebody who can at least try. If they can show some versatility as a grown man after they do the interviews and they said they can do it, that's on them at that point, you know.
So it
I
sounds
like
like
JC.
Tylese is the picker.
Yeah, I'm going with that too. What you think, Mingles?
I like JC.
Yeah, you go overrule, dude. Go to hell.
That's okay. It happened.
This is tight in the corner to me. I feel like
do we?
both of those two guys right there are.
Yeah, they're both right here.
I want to
So
ask. I want Christian to go ahead with this though, because he's got more vested interest than.
This is one of my teams. This is one of my many teams in the league. I got my boy AR5. See, who is next to Michael Pittman?
I was gonna say Brian Thomas Jr. is on the board too.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I know Alec Pierce is on the roster.
Yeah, I think it's Alec and Josh Downs. I think those are the two receivers.
Josh Downs. Yes. Josh
Josh
Downs.
Downs, nice. Mm-hmm.
So I like Brock Bowers here, man. I did it in the last draft. I like it here again. Just a safety blanket for a young quarterback. You can move all over the field. I like Brock here. I wouldn't be against receiver if you guys want receiver, but I do think pass catcher should be the addition to the team here.
Yeah, I agree. Since they already kind of drafted Josh Downs last year, and I think he did really well for a slot receiver. And I believe they believe in the Alec Pierce experience, so he's gonna probably be outside again. And Michael Pittman was really good last season, earned a nice contract. So get Brock Bowers in that. I won't even consider him a tight end. He'll be a receiver mostly because they already have, I feel like, fucking like 5 tight ends in a roster that can probably block better than him. So if needed, they'll put one of those blocking tight ends in. Either Mo Alley or Jelani Woods. I'm pretty sure one of them can block.
Yeah, an RPO with Anthony, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., and Brock Bowers on one side of the field might be unstoppable. I don't know.
For about 3 games.
I was also gonna say if the guy was a better, I'm not talking about Brock Bowers, but if this prospect was a better, more consistent catcher, I feel like a guy like Tez Walker would be a sleeper like on this type of team going forward. But he's not good at catching the football. So
hey, maybe in the second round.
I feel like they may be able to get in the third. To be honest with you,
Probably.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Talking about Tez Walker.
What about him?
I was saying if he was a more consistent catcher, he'd be a nice sleeper for this offense. Obviously not in the first round, but
got you. So we taking Brock Bowers?
Yes, Brock Bowers is the pick. Yeah, this might be the Byron Murphy pick. I've seen him mocked here for a few times.
It's either Murphy or do they
Dallas
have
Turner is
tackles?
in there, who we did take last time.
Did they take tackles? What's their edge group looking like? Let me
Well, I
go
think we
see.
said Boye Mafe, and it
I know he.
was Nwosu was the other guy.
Chenna.
E.
Do we consider Leonard Williams a defensive tackle or defensive end if they're running a three
That is
four?
that is a
Tackle.
D. That's a D end.
Defensive lineman. Interior
That's
defensive line.
D and D. No. Was it three tech? Is that what they call it?
Because I feel like
Yeah.
if they have Leonard playing D tackle, then you probably don't need to take Byron Murphy. But if he's playing DN, then you might look at Byron Murphy to be that nose tackle.
In my opinion, you
Byron
don't let.
Murphy nose tackle though.
In my opinion, you don't let Leonard Williams decide who you pick. He should be not a factor at all.
I agree. I'm just thinking about it that way.
I'm thinking on pass rush downs. They have. Yeah, they don't have no pass rush. They don't
Because
have a D.
who's next to Leonard Williams as the interior defensive lineman? Unless I'm missing somebody.
Draymond Jones. They signed them last year.
Yuck.
I thought he
Yeah.
was with the Broncos, so he was in that Broncos trade. Okay.
He was.
No,
Was
he
he there?
just signed with them. I
No, I
think
think he's a free agent that got signed.
Ah, okay.
this happened so close that it seemed like he was a part of that deal. But
Yeah, I don't know why they gave him that money. To be honest with you.
I don't think. I mean, you can still have Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams on the same team. I don't think neither of them are going to be your nose tackle, but on pass rush downs, they'll both be your interior defensive tackles. If that is the pick, I think interior defensive line sounds like more of a need than edge rusher is. I think Boye Mafe had a pretty decent year last year.
Yeah, but
Nwosu has been a pretty consistent, 7, 8 6 sacks. Oh, I'm lying.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Nwosu, man. Oh, let me look. Let me look. What
So
you think? You think this is Dallas Turner or Brian Murphy?
Me personally, I'll probably go Dallas Turner if
Mm.
he's there, just for the value of the pick and what they need.
Nwosu fooled me 2 years ago, 9.5.
so
Yeah, they
so
have
I
last year.
prefer Byron just because of the system they run. I think that, and kind of like how CBS Sports said in their mock draft, he could be used like how Justin Madubuike was used last year. So that's the thought process. But I know that's not the greatest argument. But
I think I like Byron Murphy as a prospect better than I like Dallas Turner.
I agree
Um,
there.
I do value interior defensive pass rush if you can get it slightly, very slightly, at a higher level than I would the pressure off the edge. A lot of quarterbacks tell you that the interior pressure bothers them more than pressure off the edge because it's quicker. It gets there quicker because it's right up the middle. Most times, so I would go with Byron Murphy. That would be my vote.
Especially when you
But I
played against guys like Purdy and Kyler Murray in your division twice a year.
yeah, go get them boys.
All right, Byron Murphy it is.
Ooh.
Do you want to take this pick away, CT?
I don't want to get too repetitive here, but Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. Is that no?
I think he's
Maybe
still there. I'm not sure.
Evan Ingram. I don't know.
Sounds good enough to me.
Are we looking receiver here?
Well, I know last time JG was asking if we should take
Is it
corner.
crazy if I say no?
So
Corner,
Is it crazy?
corner's cool, but I think it has to be the right one.
there's
There ain't
three
no
of
right
them sitting
one.
right there.
I say there ain't
I don't.
some good ones there.
I've cooled on Cooper DeJean lately
Nah,
as an outside corner, and I think that's what you're drafting here is an outside corner. I've cooled on Cooper DeJean. I still like his game as a football player, but
What's cooled you on him?
I it's kind of like the Terry Arnold thing where I don't know of his athletic upside as an outside corner. So if
Mm.
I'm going to take a corner here, I don't know if I have him graded similarly, I would take another corner over. But if I'm looking for actual like just a pure defensive back who I could move as a chess piece, I'd probably draft him here. But I don't know if that's what the Jags are looking for. I think they're looking for somebody who they can put next to Tyson Campbell, well not next to, on the other side of Tyson Campbell, who can help lock down that the other side of the field because that
Yep.
was a big need for them.
And they're taking Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins,
I think that kind of fits the mold that you're looking for. They could take
he
a receiver, but I feel like what does a Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis route tree look like?
Well, I feel like Brian has a more variable route tree than Gabe
You
does.
think so? You think so? What routes?
I mean, I feel like he can run drags, he can run slot fades, he can run in routes, he can probably run slants, post routes, maybe corner routes.
Hear me out. I feel like based on the depth of the draft of receiver, it'll be easier to find another receiver in the second round than it is to find another corner
I
that would be
agree.
good
I agree.
ones they have available right now. Do you think the gap between Brian Thomas and like the next few receivers is that wide to make that pick worth it? Because just based on athletic profile alone, I think Nate Wiggins clearly stands out among the three we have remaining here.
That's a good question because I feel like if we're
I mean, assuming
if
Nate Wiggins could put on maybe like a few more pounds.
he
We'll see.
weighed 182 at the pro day apparently.
He did.
Yeah,
Did he run?
he
Did
did
he run?
not
He didn't run.
test.
I mean, he guess he didn't need to. He ran damn near out the building at the combine. When they
It
add on
probably
weight,
didn't
I
help
like
that it
to
was so
add on.
close to the combine too. But
I like to add on a little few more. He said, "What'd you say?"
I
He
said it
said he got
probably
sick.
didn't help that it was so close to the combine too. 'Cause I think Clemson's pro day was like the 13th.
Was he the one that said he got sick and that's why he lost weight? Was that him? Or was it somebody else?
It might have been him. I don't know.
He might have a valid excuse if he's really using I was sick, and that might work. That might be
sick
the
and
one.
running a 4.2 is such a lie. Oh my goodness.
Could be built different. Come on now, you
What
gotta
a
understand.
generational lie. Oh, no, I hope that was not him who said
Hey
that.
man, you said it's a job interview, CT.
To tell somebody that you was sick and then ran a 4.240. What you running if you healthy? Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess we'll never know.
Oh no, all right. He didn't say that. He just he injured his hip running that 40. So you tell me he went from 173 to run that 40, and now he weighed 182 at the combine. I mean at the pro day.
That's what he was listed as when I looked it up.
I mean, if he been bulking right, I
I
guess.
don't know if he was just eating like an offensive
Eating
lineman or not, but
that protein. I mean, he been eating a lot of eggs, bacon, eating that fish and steak, man. I guess you can just and then you just drink so much creatine and protein shakes, you just lifting. Yeah, he's lying like shit. I don't know how the fuck he did that.
but to answer your question, JG, I think you have a very valid point because like if we come around to the second round, at receiver you're looking at depending on how the board falls, a potential Leggett, Roy Franklin, Xavier
Coleman,
Wilson type of guy.
you
Whereas
mean Bert
corner, you're
Keon
probably looking
Coleman?
at like Lassiter, TJ Tampa, guys like that. So it probably would be better to get one of the top four corners now than to try to get, like probably wide receiver four, wide receiver five on a lot of people's boards.
Yes, sir. When Trevor Lawrence is throwing to Luke McCaffrey next season, he can be throwing to Brendan Rice. Yes, sir. Nah, I hope they don't do no stupid shit like that. Yeah, my pick is Nate Wiggins. What was your picks?
Brian,
His
what
size
you think?
concerns me a little bit because if he's only 182, but
I'm believing in the heart. I'm
I
believing in
don't know
his
if I
heart.
can argue against it. I know this is another situation of going against my board, but I don't know if I can argue for any other corner in this situation.
I'm looking for a true outside guy. Probably, let me evaluate. Yeah, I would probably go Nate Wiggins if the outside guy was the consensus among the group. Um, So Brian, you do want to go corner though?
Yes.
All right, so we can do Wiggins, Nathan Wiggins.
That's funny.
So 18, we could just spread the card in with JC Latham and keep moving.
Nah, man, I think they need to go. Yeah, I'm just playing. Yeah, they do need to do that. Where is he at? Is
They
Offensive
he?
did
tackle.
lose
He should be like
Yeah,
18.
okay.
Oh,
lost
21. He's
Jonah Williams
21.
to
Wow.
the Cardinals.
What'd you say?
So they lost Jonah Williams to the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, but they
Mm, so-
replaced
They got Trent Brown for a
replaced
year,
with Trent.
I
Is Trent Brown the
believe.
right tackle?
no, he's not.
He's a left tackle. Who's the right tackle?
No, Trent Brown is going to be the right tackle because
Orlando Brown is their left tackle.
Left.
Orlando Brown made that whole thing about playing left tackle, so he's not playing right tackle. But Trent,
Oh,
I don't know.
wasn't Trent Brown a left tackle with the Patriots? Am I
I
tripping?
don't remember Trent. When's the last
He
time
played
Trent
right
Brown?
tackle with the Patriots, I believe. And I think
He
he did
did?
it with the Raiders too.
He did?
I don't think that was last year.
Let me check the Pro Football Reference.
He played right tackle with the Raiders. He did because he was on the other side of Colton Miller.
How old
But
is Trent? He's
he
30.
played right tackle last year.
Trent Brown is 30. Wow.
Yeah, he played right. He played right tackle in 2016, 2017, 2019, and
He played
2020,
left. Here,
2021.
let me read this. He played left tackle in 2022. Last year in 2023, he played O line.
Hey,
That's what
Chest,
it says. Not even tackle though.
They're about to
It
say
says
just his O line.
I've never seen it say that. To be honest with
They
you.
must have him moving him around. Because, I mean, like I said, Onwenu was playing right guard and right tackle last year.
and if Onwenu was at right, I mean the Patriots probably had a lot of injuries on the O line.
They sure did.
But Onwenu was, if they had their starting five out there, Onwenu was at right tackle. And then he would probably kick in the guard, and they would move Trent Brown over to right tackle. I don't know. It was weird, but yeah, I think we can go with JC Latham here.
Yeah, I am too.
Moving the guard if necessary, as he said in the job interview.
LA Rams.
So the last time this happened, we took Cooper DeJean.
That was
So, like-
before Donald retired.
Yeah, I think they gotta take Newton. To be honest with you.
Newton or DeJean, I'm cool with. I think DeJean they could kind of use as the. This is one of the teams where I could see them moving him around different places, using him in different roles. But that interior defensive line is losing the Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to. I'm not gonna say replace him, but they're gonna need some production up front. They Kobe Turner played pretty good for them last year.
Barbara Young, too.
So they probably need some. They need some interior defense next to Kobe Turner because but he's a little lighter for a defensive tackle. Kobe Turner, I think he's only like 280, 290. So I think Jerzon Newton, Johnny Newton, as they call him, could fit nice here.
Yeah, I don't see too much different. I agree with you on that because I don't. I mean, they could go tackle, but I don't know if they see that as a crazy need. So it's probably going to be something defensive.
Huh. Their defensive coordinator is the grandson of Don Shula. Oh, did not know that.
Oh, Brandon Staley's still looking for a job?
He's on the staff. He's not the defense coordinator.
He's the assistant head coach, I think,
Ah,
or associate head coach, something like that.
He's something like that. Assistant to the head coach. Felling upwards. What can I say?
So Steelers, or
Yeah,
did we?
Oh, we picked Noon, right?
yeah,
For
but
the
we
Rams?
can take Johnny. We can take Johnny, unless y'all have anything.
Johnny Noon, baby.
I feel like this is a semi-simple pick. I mean, we can go, black and gold Photoshop, or we could go receiver.
I'm looking at Cooper or Arnold.
I mean, I feel like I know last time me and CT said, somebody fit the organization. So
They traded Deontay Johnson.
But Arthur Smith is the coordinator, so
He might
you don't even need a second receiver.
Right.
I mean, they do. In all
running back.
honesty, they do need a receiver pretty bad. But then they just get rid of Patrick Peterson.
yes, he did
So
just
they
leave.
They also need a corner opposite Joey Porter. I forget who's playing in the slot for them. Um, but I think Arnold probably projects better as a potential outside corner. If you have to move inside, you can. I think DeJean is probably like definitely a slot guy. So if you want to draft somebody who has like potential to be that outside guy, I would go Arnold here.
Who is
Mhm.
Pittsburgh's defensive coordinator?
Uh,
Well,
T- Terrell. I'm gonna say Terrell Austin.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah. Off defense pretty good last year once TJ Watt came
because I
back.
was trying to figure out if
Mike
he's
Thomas
like
the coach.
a more versatile DB type of guy. But then again, that would still play towards Arnold.
Should they move Patch Peterson to safety at some points in the season? So they moved their DBs around if needed.
That might be a
They're not.
Cooper. That might be a Cooper move. Then I don't know.
Terrian is the same. Terrian and Cooper are pretty similar. I think Terrian's a slightly more fluid athlete. Cooper's a bit bigger. Cooper's built like a safety who's been playing corner.
Oh, they still signed Dante Jackson.
They traded
Oh
for
yeah,
him
they
for
traded. Yeah,
He was in
Deontay
that
Johnson.
trade. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dante Johnson's ass though.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think he's stopping them from taking a corner. Mike
yeah,
Tomlin was talking like Dante Jackson was like the gem of that trade. They needed Deontay Johnson. We needed Dante Jackson. That's what he said. That's my dog, but Mikey Wildin. So, but even if that's the case, do we know who their third guy is in the defensive backfield? I don't think so. And like we just said, they move their guys around
I know.
different formations. So I'm cool with either of these top two corners who are on the
Who the
board.
fuck are these niggas? Who's the third guy? Shit. Mm.
And in the year of our Lord 2024, are we really throwing Dante Jackson out there as an outside corner?
you might have
I fear
to.
that they will. I fear that they will. I mean,
Oh
Corey
man,
Corey Trice, Darius Rush. I don't know what that
Darius
is.
Rush. I've
Corey
not heard that
Trice
name in a
Jr.
minute.
I don't know what that is. Trent Thompson. I don't know what that is. Uh, Luke Barku. I don't know what that is. Joshua Scott. I don't know what that is. I just
yeah.
named the whole cornerback room. I don't know any of
Yeah,
these names.
yeah.
You could have told me those were accountants. I would have believed you.
For
So
as much
who?
football we watch, to not know any of the names is actually kind of scary. That's
You know
actually,
what?
yeah, they need a corner bad.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with DeJean. If you guys want Arnold, that's cool with me. But I think if Dante is actually getting thrown out there on the outside, knowing that Mike and them like to move their guys around, I'd like to see DeJean be used in a variety of ways. Um, in the defense. So I'm gonna go with DeJean. If you
You
guys have
can't
Arnold,
trust the board, right? Let me look at my board. Arnold's higher. Gonna go with Arnold then.
So,
yeah, trust
but
your board.
so
Trust
the
your
thing
board,
for
man.
me is since we talking about trusting the board, I
Mhm.
recently moved Cooper up over Terrion Arnold,
You did.
so
That's the pick
I
then.
got to stick with the board.
You just said Arnold like 5 seconds ago. You
It's okay, man.
I said
ah,
Cooper.
you're right. You're right. This shit happens. Let me
I'm about to
just.
say it was Chris that was arguing for Terrion for a minute.
I was, and then I remember Dante Jackson, man. Y'all said he getting thrown out there, man.
You not. You
So
not fucking
so
with
do y'all
Dante.
want to take Michael Penix here? Since y'all were
Yeah.
joking about quarterbacks last episode.
I mean, I'm not against it, but I wouldn't do that right here. I'll do
He get
this.
extended yet, Tua?
He is not. I don't think so. Because we
Mm.
would
Yeah,
have we
they
would
had
have
the
got the Adam
report.
Schefter
I
notification.
remember they had the report out with his potential contract, and they have not said a word about it since.
Al Shanahan said they still trying to get quarterbacks situated in Miami.
True.
I don't know.
Um,
They ain't, but they have both their edge rushers. They're just both coming off season-ending injuries, and
he'll be
Bradley
alright.
Chubb has not been that inspiring lately.
He'll be alright. He paid. He'll be alright.
I mean, I know they're gonna stick with him, but
Yeah, but
just with a
Jalen's gonna
talent
be
like
out for a minute.
that on the board,
Who?
Jalen Phillips, he's gonna be out for a minute. Cause he got hurt in that was it the
Or
day
Achilles?
after Christmas or
Jalen
was it the
Phillips
Black
tore his
Friday game?
Achilles, and then Bradley Chubb tore his ACL. Jalen Phillips got hurt Black Friday,
Yeah.
I must say one of them got hurt Black Friday.
and then Bradley Chubb got hurt a few weeks after that.
Oh
ACL,
yeah, I
I
forgot
believe.
Bradley got hurt.
Yep, they'll be back. For sure.
They did
Let me
just
see.
lose Christian Wilkins to the Raiders as well. So
They did. I don't like any defensive linemen here
Yeah, I was about
though.
to say the problem is you already took the top two. Unless you want to move Braden Feist up, but I don't know if he's
No.
moving up high enough.
Hell nah.
So at this
Um,
point, we're probably looking what Verse, JPJ, and Barton at this point. If you
Graham
believe in Barton as a
Barton.
guard,
Graham Barton. That is my going Graham Barton. They signed a center from the Titans. Why you're signing any old lineman from the Titans? I don't know, but
did Connor
I guess it's
was
the starting center.
I like
But
JPJ over Grant Barton.
where's Connor Williams?
who?
Connor Williams, I don't know if he signed yet, but he tore his ACL too.
Yeah, because I know Robert Hunt left, but I'm thinking, yep. I think I
And
said it. I took JPJ in the last episode because I was like, they're probably gonna need a center.
they do. Like he just said, if you sign a center from the Titans, that means you still need a center. I like JPJ over Graham Barton.
I will co-sign that.
Damn, we really rocking on Isaiah Wynn at left guard, huh? Okay, that's cool.
Titans do move over left guard, whoever that is.
Move who to
Or right
guard?
guard, or right guard, since they lost.
Whoever
Move the
that
dude
dude.
at center to guard. Ah,
Yeah, got to.
Robert Jones at right guard. I don't know who that is.
They might ask JPJ to play guard.
He can.
Might as well pick Graham Barton at that point. He's the better guard. Ah, fuck it. Oh well. JPJ it is.
I trust
Yeah,
JPJ
I'm
more as
around
a
too.
future interior.
EAGLES Eagles. Who we got here?
So
Got
in this position
Arnold?
last time, JG took Kool-Aid McKinstry. So I feel like if we're helmet
Who take Arnold?
scouting and we're looking at a DB, it's pretty obvious who they should take here.
Yeah.
Terry
Take Arnold.
fits nice in the slot here. I like that there.
Nice in the slot. Oh no. James Bradbury is getting his ass in the slot.
Really?
Not outside.
Oh, James in the
If
slot?
Do you want to see James Bradbury on the outside again? For real?
I don't want to see him in the slot.
I don't want to see him on the field, to be honest with you, but I think we can limit the damage that he can do to a defense in the slot.
Would it be crazy if I said Slade in the slot?
No,
They-
he's
they
played
both-
the slot well, but
they
he
both-
shouldn't be there primarily.
They both getting to that slot point, Brian, but they can't both play in the slot at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I'm saying Bradbury. I don't even think in Carolina Bradbury played the slot. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
think Bradbury has ever played in the slot, but
It's time to make it happen. Let's see what we can do, man. Hold on.
maybe they can convince him to retire.
I just feel like
Everybody-
Slade flits that slot better because he's a better
Sure.
mover than me.
But you can't. But
Personally.
you can't move Slade to the slot because then you don't have anybody on the outside who is consistent.
Good point.
Like Slade's your best corner, so of course he's going to be better in the slot than Bradbury. You're almost just trying to figure out how to mitigate Bradbury's issues. So we go with Terry on here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Terrion's the pick here.
This time you draft an Alabama corner that has, some actual potential, not somebody like Eli Ricks.
Hmm.
Hey, they was throwing him out there on that field though.
Yeah.
Hey man,
He
knowing
finished-
Philly, they'll probably
he-
take Arnold here, and then they'll just take Lassiter in the next round.
Georgia and Alabama. Eli Ricks finished the season as the 122nd ranked corner.
Don't
in
they
the
have like
Eagles.
Josh Jobe too? Or am I smoking?
Yes,
He's there. 40. Grade of a 40 in the season. Even worse than James
Another
Bradbury. and
Alabama
Eli.
corner.
They just got a bunch of guys, man. Cindy Brown too. None of these niggas did good. Ringo's still here. Not good either. Nah.
Ringo gonna be starting next to Slade. It's gonna be Slade, Ringo, and Terry and Arnold.
God bless us all. God bless America. Hold up now. Last season, James Bradbury had 127 snaps in the slot. I know I wasn't tripping. Like I
Never
know
mind.
he played up.
Never mind. You got me. I'm just a
Let
casual.
me see.
You got
Stop
me.
this. I'm curious now. Hold on now. This defense way different because I tell you what, Gannon was not putting these dudes in the slot. I can tell you that. Slay had only 37. Yeah, he played almost primarily outside corner. Yeah, it would have to be Bradbury. Good lord.
Well, I guess they could probably. Well, no. Let me not even suggest that. Never mind.
Yeah, they'll probably do. Unfortunately, they probably won't move Bradbury to the slot.
Because they're probably gonna have CJ play safety, right?
Yeah, they'll let Arnold play slot or outside depending on what the formation is. Would they bench Bradbury for Arnold? You think they would do that?
In base,
Only if they think CJ can play slide. That's the
Yeah,
only
base.
thought.
they could. And then you don't have a slot in base. You have those. You can have 3 safeties on the field, or
Yeah,
they could just simply bench Bradbury and go 3 safeties. And then they would need another safety, I think.
they have 3 safeties.
Did they bring
No?
Avonte Maddox back, or is he somewhere else?
Oh, he is gone. You are right. Huh.
Who's their three
They don't have,
safeties?
they don't have 3 safeties. They only have 2.
It's Reed and CJ.
Yep.
But CJ's normally at his best when he's that move piece, moving between safety and the slot and in the box. So I don't know. Maybe that's why people still want them to
Hold
be
on now. You saying 3 safeties. Hear me out. 3 linebackers.
disgusting. Next
Nicole
pick.
B, who else?
Next
OB
pick.
Dean
Pick is in.
and Burks.
Pick
My
is in.
fault.
They're
Nicole Dean's still there, man.
They're one linebacker. They're two. They about to start Nicole Dean, right?
Hey, I hope so.
So
Remember
why
all the
would they-
hype after they drafted him, saying they got
So
the
if
still
he's
the
one
Because
draft?
of their-
Cunningham
if
isn't
he's
there
one of
anymore, is he?
2 best linebackers. Who is the third?
Who, Nicole Dean? Oh, who's the third? Oren Brooks.
All right. Yep. Next pick. That's the guy who.
That's the guy from the 49ers.
Oren Burks from the 49ers, who they was targeting. Never mind. You got it. Yeah.
That being base though, only in base. You know what I'm saying?
Only
Usually,
in base. Disgusting. 23. Patriots
Has
on the
Brian
clock.
Thomas Jr. been picked yet?
No.
Because I feel like it's either him or A.D. Mitchell.
Who did we take at 11?
am I tweaking? Troy.
Let's go Dallas Turner.
I'm about to say, I feel like Dallas Center had to be the pick here.
That's
You
fine.
get the pick
I'm just
23,
I'm thinking
and
receiver.
Dallas on the clock. You gotta take him. But if Dallas Turner was not here, I would agree. You gotta take AD or
Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas. The thing is, right? This is the thing I said before, Brian. Let's say they don't take a receiver here, right? Their next pick isn't that far away. Obviously, I can't scroll down because we're doing one round. But their next pick is what?
34, I think. 34.
My math is right in my head.
35.
No, 35. Because it'd be 33.
Let me check.
35.
Let me check Tankathon. Let me just be. I'm sure you're
35.
right. I'm just checking.
I know they do some weird things with picks.
Because I know Washington's like 36 or something like that.
No, we're 34. At least we should be.
According to this, the Panthers are 33, the Patriots are 34, the Cardinals are 35, and
then that's a 36.
Washington is 36. This is according to Tankathon. I could be wrong, but this is according to Tankathon.
We all had the same record?
It's not.
I think y'all might have. Let me check.
Yeah.
Us, the Cardinals, and the Patriots all had the same record. That's why I think they inverse the order or do something weird with the order.
I can't remember what the rule. I was reading it, but I feel like in future rounds they like swap picks because then. Let me think. Because in the next round we have out of the 3 of us we have the third round pick. We have 66. Then the Commanders have 67, and the Patriots have 68.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
Yeah, I feel like we all have the same. We must have all the same.
Yes, it's the same thing on NFL.com. So
yeah, no, it's right. I just can't remember the rule that determines it. It might be because they all have the same record, and when they do tiebreakers, they just mix it up. I'm not sure what determines they mix it up or not, but yeah.
But as you were saying, JG, they're only 11 picks away. So yeah, you got a point.
And I'm sure. I mean, another receiver. So I'm sure one of these 5 will be available, and any one of these 5 will immediately walk in and be one of the best receivers on that team. Because
he's scrolling.
I'm about to say, or 2 of Christian's boys that are not that are not being shown.
Any of these 10 that we just scrolled through could be better than. Is it Kendrick Bourne and Juju? Juju's still in the team.
Pop Douglas.
Hey, now Xavier Worthy. He's not even up here because he don't have the PFF grades. But come on now, Pop Douglas.
He's definitely falling out the first round. But the rate this is going,
I like Pop Douglas though. Who?
23. So we got Dallas Turner here, right?
Yes, Dallas Turner at 23.
Dallas Cowboys.
All right. So what did the Cowboys fans say last time he won it? Do you remember?
He said he wanted Demarius Mims or A.D. Mitchell
Uh-huh. It.
because he was mad at me for taking Graham Barton.
Let's give him Brian Thomas, man.
I don't
He
think he
got
would be
paid
upset with
Wilson,
that.
man. They linebackers retired, man. They need paid Wilson.
Yeah,
Eric Kendrick's not cutting it.
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, I'm not drafting no fucking Brian Thomas.
Get Dak his deep threat.
Do we want to go tackle? Do we want to go tackle, JG?
I'm thinking Mims.
Demarius Mims? Hey, man.
That's disgusting.
Do they have
If you're gonna go tackle, you gotta go Guyton.
He said he wanted Demarius Mims. I'm just telling you what the message said. When he got mad at me.
You don't know. He
who is
wanted
the right tackle right now?
last year.
Who is the Cowboys right tackle? Let me look.
Was it Tyler Smith? Because I think we were talking about Tyler Smith moving to
Aaron
left
Steele
tackle.
is the right tackle. Tyler Smith is the left guard. The left tackle is you.
Tyler Smith's getting kicked out to left tackle. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, so at that point, you might as well.
tackle.
Might as well take your right tackle then, if you're going to do it.
I would take Mims. I mean, I know in the perfect world, Brian Thomas is nice. But with that O-line,
Or even A.D. Mitchell.
or A.D. Mitchell, I mean,
See, if JPJ was sitting there, we could have just gave him, but
hold up now. Hold up now. Let me see something. Let me look at their team. Hold on. Let me see. They ain't at nobody, so it should be exactly the same as last season. Bro, it is Jalen Tolbert time to shine. Let's go. Matavis Bryant time to shine.
him and
Let's
Deuce
go.
Vaughn.
It's not his time to shine. It's not his time to shine. Let's calm it down. Is Deuce Vaughn running back one? Oh, it's Rico. It's Rico Dotto. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about Rico. My bad.
Yes, we do the 3 round. They gonna need a running back or 2 or 3. Yeah, me personally, man, I'm going straight to Mims. 2 Mims and 1 Brian Thomas. I think we win.
I think Graham Barton. Then if we're kicking Tyler Smith out to guard,
And that's what I said.
if we're kicking,
They
Tyler
got mad at me when I said Graham Barton last time.
But no, you drafted Graham Barton with the intent of making him the left tackle. That didn't make sense then. If we're talking about moving Tyler Smith out to left tackle, Terrence Steele isn't good, but he's the right tackle currently. There's nobody at left guard.
I would take Graham Barton too. Also, kind of with the same logic Brian had before, but not that with the intention of making him left tackle. We just see who's the better left tackle, left guard out of the 2. Whatever is the better, we go with that. I mean, that's what practice in camp is for in the preseasons. We just see if Graham Barnes is better at tackle and Tyson's better at guard, then we rock with that. If Graham Barnes is better at guard and Tyson's better at tackle, we rock with that. But either way, we get the best.
Lost Biotis, so he might play center. They lost Biotis too, so he could play center.
That is true. Damn, who is their center? Damn, that O-line is.
It's gonna be Graham Barton. Make Graham Barton big.
Me and Times talked about this. I think the O-line has like one like spot they know who it's gonna be, and I think it's Terrence Steele because everybody else is gonna be moving probably.
No, Zach Martin.
Zach Martin's the only guy.
They have 3 starters. We don't know where Tyler Smith is playing.
Yeah, I'm taking Graham Barton.
But if we're the team, I'm moving Tyler Smith out the left tackle comfortably because he played that very well during his rookie year. And then Graham Barton can play left guard or center. I don't know. Is Connor McGovern still on the team?
Wasn't he with the Jets?
No.
There's 2 Connor McGoverns.
Neither is on this team. I think they're both in the same division now.
They're both on the Bills and the Jets. I don't remember if they're still on. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go we can go Graham Barton here.
I'm going Graham Barton too.
If receiver's not the option, I'd go line and make it Graham Barton though.
Damn.
Is this a Kool-Aid pick?
Before? And then the Packers got the Mims again?
Yeah.
Once again, I'm gonna have to agree with the same logic. I feel like they would take Mims.
They did just lose David, didn't they?
Sure did.
I've seen a lot of people mock corner, but that's usually like if Nate Williams or somebody falls.
I mean, they lost a safety. Then they lost
Darnell Savage, right?
Yeah, but Darnell Savage is. They signed what's the name though?
Xavier McKinney.
There it is. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name, but I knew he was good. There you go.
I only remember because reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I know what team he left. I like, I like their, I like how their O line performed last year, but I feel like Mims just gives you a higher ceiling of what it could be. Um,
I don't think so.
you think you like Zach Tom that much?
I don't. Mims isn't the left tackle though. Zach Tom is the
No,
left.
Would
Unless
they kick
unless they're
Elton
moving.
Jenkins out?
No,
no.
Elton
Alton Jenkins
Jenkins
was the
and
left tackle. Zach Tom was the right
Zach
tackle.
Tom was left tackle. I thought last year.
Nah, other way around.
Elton Jenkins plays everywhere, so you can bear.
My fault. I'm sorry. Elton Jenkins is the left guard. Right now on the roster, Elton Jenkins is the left guard. Rasheed Walker's the left tackle. Zach Tom's the right tackle.
Okay, no, Rasheed Walker played very well last year left tackle. That's what I'm thinking about. But
Yeah.
Elton Jenkins, they got to figure out where he's going to play. He's played guard, tackle, center. He's played every spot on the O line. He's their best lineman. So I think wherever they want him to play will determine what this pick is. And I feel like if I'm them, I would probably put my best lineman at left tackle to replace David Bakhtiari.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then
Replace is a strong word.
But then you have your right. You already have your right tackle set in stone at that point.
Zach Tom is the right tackle, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just got to figure out Elton Jenkins, and then I don't think Amarius Mims is the pick then if we're fine with Zach Tom at right tackle.
Do they take Guyton? Is that too early?
I like Guyton more than Mims.
Yeah, I feel like Guyton's the right pick at this point. Now that I'm thinking about it, because based on PFF grades, and I know PFF grades is the gospel, but their online grades are pretty consistent because it's really hard to mess up O line grades because you can just see clearly when somebody get beat on a block or somebody misses assignment. It's really not that hard to really figure it out. And Zach Tom did great, actually one of the best in the league at tackle, I want to say. Let me double check. Yeah, 15th out of 81 tackles in the league. So pretty damn good. I'll probably take Guyton here. Let me see something. Does Guyton not play guard at all? Oh, he played both sides of the line. Yeah, Guyton played both sides of the line, so yeah, I will take Guyton. What do you think, Brian?
Unless they're going to try to take a luxury pick. I mean, I'm fine with what y'all took.
Who's their corner opposite Jair?
Eric Stokes.
Okay. He was hurt last year.
I think they still believe in that. Let me see. How many games did he play last year?
I'm going to say, I didn't really see him often. I saw 37 out there a lot. I think his last name was Valentine.
He had to be hurt because he's not even like rated.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
All right, we can go Guyton here. Good solid pick.
That is a sneaky pick though, but I don't think they will draft. What corner is left? Kool-Aid? Yeah, I don't think they would draft Kool-Aid. We'll take Guyton.
So now,
I feel like this is real easy. Keep the guy that's already in Florida. Keep him in Florida. Hopefully, he could become your replacement for Shaq Barrett.
yeah.
Any arguments against that?
Do they want a
CT?
3-4?
Yeah, because what's the name still there? Not Vance Joseph, the D or
Not
Tryon.
Is that him?
Todd Bowles. You're talking about Todd Bowles.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Todd
thought
Bowles.
you
There
were
it
the
is.
edge. My fault.
Yeah,
Do they run a 3-4?
Yeah.
Chop is still on the board, isn't he?
Yes.
I'm just based on who they drafted and who they had before it, and they like their ends to be, even though they technically run a 3-4.
They do like their big ends. Pause.
They like their ends, yeah, that size that can really set the edge. Child Robinson's not setting that edge, dog. He's not.
Chop under Braswell. Wow.
You see his average draft pick, though. He's even,
No, that's
there.
fine. I'm looking at the rank. It's an interesting ranking.
Curious. What's his 67 grade? What's Jared versus rank 8? 60, huh?
Sounds like we're leaning towards Jared here. So
I am. I'm just curious.
But it seems like CT wanted to give his pick first. So
I mean, Top is my edge 3. If I'm just going based off that, and I think top fits the 3-4 better than Jared Verse. But I mean, if I'm outvoted, then I'm outvoted. But I'm placing my vote for Chop.
Taking verse. I'm trying to think. Have they ever drafted anybody as light as Chop on the edge?
Yeah, I feel like all their guys have been like at least
Bigger
tall. I
body.
don't want to say lanky. Because you had like JPP, you had Shaq. I think you have Tryon Shanka. I believe that's how you pronounce his name there now.
But at the same time, would they maybe consider going for contrast now? You know, you have the lengthy power guy on one side, and then maybe you add the speed guy.
Hmm.
Nah, I'm trying to think of tall bulls and what he's done in the past. Nah, I don't know.
I don't even know if he had speed rushers back when he was with the Jets.
I don't believe he believes in speed rushers. Even though Shaq Barrett was kind of fast off the edge, I wouldn't say he was a speed rusher.
He's still a big pass rusher.
I'm about to say.
Ah,
I want to stick to the board with you, Chris, but I feel like Jerry Verse might have to be the pick here.
Yeah, well, you got Kaleja can't see Vita Vea, and you get Jared Verse on the edge, man. It's that D
You definitely
line that
stopping the run.
Cowboys like, man. He likes the defense to be able to stop the run. Uh,
I'm just
so
concerned with the true pass rush upside of those two edges.
do you really need to worry about that when you got Vita Vea and Kaleja Kancey in the middle, though?
I mean, the interior pressure matters, of course. Like I said earlier,
Mhm.
that honestly probably matters more. But I don't know if you're getting a lot of edge production. Tryon Shoyinka hasn't really done much his first couple years, and we've already said Verse isn't the craftiest pass rusher that we've seen in years. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll probably see a lot of one on ones against tackles, considering the defensive line he'll be on. Vita Vea is going to draw plenty of attention. It's not like he's a slow power rusher. He has speed to him. He's just
Yeah.
not a speed rusher.
I don't know if he can just at this course is easy to say better than than do, but if he can even if he don't beat his man, if he presses that pocket to force the quarterback to step up into that interior
Right into those
pressure,
two guys.
run into two guys, I can see how that works. Because Jerry Verse, he's not a speed rusher core, but he's strong as hell. Probably the strongest edge defender in this whole draft.
Yeah.
If you don't consider Darius Robin an edge, right? I don't consider Darius Robin a true edge. So I'll probably go Jerry Verse. Yeah. So Jerry Verse the pick.
Yeah, I think we're going Jared here.
All right.
Definitely a conversation though. Definitely a conversation. So Marvin has been picked at 4. Johnny Newton is not on the board
No corners.
unless you want to take Kool Aid or Rackstraw here.
I'm thinking Kool-Aid. I'm thinking Mims because I fucks with Jonah, but he ain't the future. So I'm trying to think. Of course, we have that pick again at what 35. I'm trying to think
Yeah,
out of the remaining players that we would like Mims, Kool-Aid, TJ, or Lassiter or Ricochet. I feel like out of the players that are remaining, the corners that are most likely to still be there. One of them corners still is likely to be there at 35.
yeah,
So I'm leaning towards Mims to have a future, set tight ends on both tight ends, tackles on
tackles.
both sides for at least the next 5 to 7 years with Paris and Mims. Paris can officially be going to left tackle. I feel like he's going to do this season, and then Jonah can either be a right tackle next season, or if he's not there, Mims can step in.
Hey,
Within,
kick Jonah in the guard.
yeah, we're
That's what I
not
was
doing
going to
that.
ask, but
If anything, they might move Mims to guard. I don't see Jonah as a guard. I don't think he's strong enough. I don't see that in this game. I could be wrong though. Let me actually look. Has Jonah played any snaps at guard? Not
what do you
really.
think of
I
CT?
believe, but remember before the when he was a prospect, there was talk about where he would play on the line. He's
They
a good
take
enough mover. Depending on the scheme, I don't know what the Cardinals' exact scheme is. But depending on the scheme, he's a good enough mover that if he was a guard, he would be a great puller, stuff like that. Um, but here I'm not opposed to O line. I don't think the board has fallen the way the Cardinals would have liked for them sitting here at 27. Um, I think they would have liked like a Graham Barton if he would have fell here, or like one of the corners that already went off the board. I don't really love Kool-Aid's game. Here the Cardinals do need a corner, but I don't know. Kool-Aid may feel like a reach here at 27. Then if we get to 35, and he's still on the board, then maybe that's a pick they make there. And even then, I like Ennis Rakestraw as well, for them there. So maybe that's a pick like we've talked about. Maybe that's a position you push down the board and make that pick later. So if we want to go Marius Mims here, we can.
Okay.
Coleman Mims then.
28, I think this is a consensus pick.
Yeah, Brian Thomas.
Let's do it. Actually,
There you go.
for Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
Actually, this is just a question.
Uh-huh.
Between Brian Thomas and A.D. Mitchell, I almost said Xavier Leggett. I'm not going to do it. Between those two, who would you classify as a better pure route runner?
Pure route runner, I would say AD.
Sports fan?
Lad McConkey.
We can go him too. Not opposed to that either now.
Is that wild though? Lad over Brian Thomas at AD. Yeah,
I feel like they would want a big body that can
we can't put that
move though.
I think they would want a big body who that prototypical X. But I do think down the line, the Diggs era is clearly coming to a close.
Yeah.
I think I may have said this in a receiver episode, but I do think players like A.D. Mitchell, who is more nuanced in the route running element, projects more as a wide receiver one down the line than Brian Thomas. I do think Brian Thomas is a good complementary piece for this current offense. He would complement Stephon Diggs well because he's able to stretch the field and take attention off of Stephon Diggs doing work everywhere else. But I do think A.D. Mitchell probably offers you more as a route runner with a similar athletic profile to Brian Thomas. I do think he has a better chance of being that Stephon Diggs replacement as the wide receiver one down the line whenever that Diggs era is over, because it's been rumored for the last couple of years. So I would go A.D. Mitchell here.
I can see that point. I just think they would prefer Brian, unless I'm sure like you, they can read the tea leaves and see that Stephon Diggs is leaving. But I think they would want to take Brian to maximize the potential, not versatility, but the potential of Stephon still being that one, and then Josh Allen having somebody to be able to throw the ball to as a red zone threat and a deep threat. That can also have a more nuanced route tree. What do you think, JG?
I'm thinking 82. That's kind of the game plan they have to potentially have a receiver that can be a wide receiver one due to 80's potential to 80's potential to really be a route runner for compared to Brian Thomas. Yeah, I can't be mad at that. You have AD and Stephon outside or Stephon in the slide or AD in the slide needed, and they also who they had last year that came down who went really well down the stretch at receiver.
Not Shakir. Shakir, or is it?
Yeah, it's that, or is it close to that? Is it Shakir? Is it not Shakir?
Yeah, Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, that's it. Shakir, and then they also have Dawson Knox, of course. So they have options. Nah, all right. Forget Dawson Knox. Get out of here. Dawson Kincaid. Yes, that's the other one. Yeah, I'll go 80 Mitchell. So we decided 80 Mitchell.
It's 2-1, so y'all can do AD.
Okay. The Lions. I don't think they drafted a receiver.
I feel like this is pretty simple. I mean, I don't. They signed a corner, but I think they could still use one. At least I believe they signed a corner. I can't remember.
They just released Cameron Sutton.
They released him.
I believe so. He's been on the run.
I
All
forgot
right,
that happened.
so I guess Kool-Aid's
He
the pick here.
is on the run. He is. Is he? Did he really get released though? Or did you make that up?
Yeah. Unless
No,
I got
you were right. I mean, they do have Carlton Davis, and I've seen Amik
That's who it
Robertson.
was.
I've seen Amik Robertson tweet out that what they need a corner for. I'm here now. So
Didn't he get baked
mm,
last year?
let's not talk about it. They get Emmanuel Mosley too. If
that's
that
my
moves you.
cousin.
If that moves you. Brian Branch, of course, is in the nickel, so they don't need a slot corner.
Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams, and Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
Khalif Raymond, Donovan People-Jones. Based on how they run the ball and how they have the team set up, I believe they fully believe in that. I think they're fine with that.
I think
With
they're
that
banking Jamison Williams next step. If they didn't have that Jamison Williams next step belief, I think they would be going receiver here. I don't think it's completely impossible that they still decide to go receiver.
The value's there for sure.
It is. I don't think they anticipate Brian Thomas falling into the lap like this.
I mean, they could.
I
Take
think
Trent
it
Rob.
honestly comes down to Rackstraw, Kool-Aid,
They
and
could.
probably Thomas. Maybe because I don't know. I don't think they go edge if they believe in Houston like CT does.
Why? I don't know why CCT still believes in that. I don't know what that's
He was
about.
hurt, man.
Oh,
But
I mean, you gotta get bodies in
You
the
could
room,
consider
man. I don't
Ladd
know.
too, I guess, if you think he can replace Josh Reynolds.
nah,
Uh,
not lad here. Not a good fit.
I'm not fucking with that one. That wide
And this
receiver
is my
room is
cornerback 5, so I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna take him. Plus, Chris took him in the last draft too.
I'm gonna place my vote for first would be Brian Thomas. Then my second vote would be Ennis.
Oh, the Lions got DJ Reader. Shit.
To DJ Reader.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't even notice that happened.
Man, they did sign Marcus Davenport. Nice. What was your vote? What was your votes for?
So I said Rackstraw. CT said his first option is Brian Thomas. His second option is Rackstraw.
I'm going Kool-Aid.
So was that record?
So Rackstraw it is.
Yeah, sounds like Rackstraw. I had to stick to my board.
Just wanted to be on camera that I said Kool-Aid for the logical people in the audience.
Cares about them.
Not you right, my fault. 30.
So
Brian Thomas.
got Brian Thomas, Ladd, Kool-Aid, and then probably Chop Robinson you're considering here.
I say you take Brian Thomas. I mean,
BT.
there are some believers out there. Some real believers in Rashad Bateman. And they'll show you film of Bateman getting open and Lamar not throwing him the ball.
But even then, they still need.
Because Odell's not coming back.
I'm about to say, unless I'm missing somebody, Zay Flowers.
They got Nelson Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Brian Thomas Jr. here, man. Other stuff is cool, I guess.
I'll say get Lamar Jackson a red zone threat. And get a guy that can also take some attention away from Mark Andrews.
And can stretch the field and catch the ball.
That's not Nelson Aguilar? Fine.
And catch that matter.
Fine.
So there's no Jared Verse this time. Unlike the last
Kool-Aid
time we did this.
McKinstry. Can we please be serious?
I mean, if they need a corner.
Oh,
Maury Lester.
Come on, man. Let's
Kool-Aid.
Let's have some realism.
Kool-Aid.
Let's have some seriousness to our draft. Some pride.
Kamari's my CB7 right now, but I'm taking Kool-Aid.
Who's your CB7?
Kamari.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kool-Aid.
No,
Oh,
Kool Aid 6. Kool-Aid 6.
oh, he's 6. Goodness gracious.
I just told you
Is he?
Rakenstraw's 5, and he's not
Why
better than the
6?
other 4.
Better
So
not be me. 6. Could have that. Okay, cool.
we'll have a conversation about it next week.
Man, Kool-Aid, man. I mean, I think we stopped the fall for him, man. I think this is a good spot for him. Does he walk in as a CB2 on the team? He should. Let me see.
Yeah, he does.
Her is Ambry Thomas. He alright. He there. He's a body. Oof, don't let Kool-Aid and War take over no, not my division. God damn it. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid can work. Any arguments against that?
Not one.
Cool. All right. We stopped the bullshit from having that happen last time with we gave these niggas one of the best edge rushers in the class. Make sure that don't happen again.
I mean,
Oh
John
man,
Robinson is still sitting there at 32.
You see his average draft position. He's in the right spot. He should be available here.
Price, Marquise Brown.
So Lad is here. Yeah.
Oh, lad. They take lad.
The Chiefs
That's a
are.
very
I'm assuming the Chiefs would probably try to trade up to 25 if they
Hmm?
could have, because you had AD and Brian Thomas both sitting there.
The Chiefs gonna do what now?
I'm saying with Brian Thomas Jr. and
Hmm
80 on the board, they might have
hmm
considered trading up to 25. So that way they could get one of them before the Bills and the Ravens.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't think they would do it. In all honesty, just how the Chiefs built their roster.
They could trade down.
They could.
I don't. I don't think the Chiefs value receiver that much, and they've
Would
kind
it
of
be
proven they
crazy
don't
to
use.
take Peyton Wilson here?
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah, a lot.
they don't
Yeah.
value linebacker more than they
Ah,
used to. They the linebackers walk every year. They just
they
let
got
Willie
enough
Gay
tight
walk.
ends, so there's no need to take Jatavion here.
They got Drew Tranquil, man. That's third rate Lewis.
Braden's still
Nick,
probably a little
you
too
gonna stop
early.
disrespecting people. You do it every month. You
Oh, my
find a
fault. Nick Bones, their Ray Lewis. Drew Tranquil is their what's bro in the Bills? Uh,
Matt Milano,
there you go.
Drew Tranquil. That's my dog. That's a real hooper.
Do they draft? Mm, mm, mm. Kind of leaning lad, in all honesty.
Let's do it.
Trying to think. No, lad.
No, actually,
Either lad or Jordan Morgan. But I don't think they draft him. Where is their edge rush? Oh, Jordan Kalafis, right.
can we look at receivers? All of them. See some of
Oh
the
my
names there.
goodness.
Oh, you know who's there, bro.
Bro, just come on, man. You just do it. I'm not even. I'm not even.
Who you need, bro? Go ahead.
Mm,
Yes, you want to get the 55th ranked prospect at 32 or the 63rd ranked prospect at
nah,
32?
not
Come
right. I
on.
don't. Oh, nah. Oh, nah.
Oh, I know you want Johnny Wilson.
Nah, not me. That's something crazy will happen if Keon Coleman isn't the first FSU receiver off the board.
For your sake, I pray that doesn't happen. You don't deserve that.
Let's say. I mean, we could do Lad. We could do Lad. I just think Rasheed. I don't want to say him and Rasheed are similar, but I'd like to see them have similar roles on separate teams. But if Lad's the pick, then Lad can be the pick. That's what everybody else wants to do.
Yeah, Marquise Ladd and Rasheed Rice. That's a nice receiver room if Marquise can stay healthy. Usually, I would question players' heights and stuff, but with
See?
Mahomes, I mean,
Well, Rasheed's like 6'2".
that's what I'm saying. Ladd's like what, 6 foot, or is he
Yeah.
5'11"? Let me double check that. Oh, he's 6 foot. That's tall enough. This offense doesn't dominate on jump balls and deep shots like that anyway. Yeah, let me go Lad McConkey, man.
Good
Yeah.
dude, Troy Franklin.
I feel
Too
like
late.
that fits because that would allow them to be versatile.
They would
You
do
could
Troy
have him in
Franklin
the
though.
slot, or
Not
you could
like,
play him
hey, Troy
outside
Franklin do
in Andy Reid's offense.
what Troy Franklin did after the catch last season was does fit their offense really well. And this is what we got.
So, JG, how do you feel about this one in comparison to the last one we did,
I
albeit
think
with no trades?
this one's a little more serious. Like I feel like we actually took some time and got some picks. I feel like draft night we'll get if we can get 6 matches, team to player. I would go to sleep happy that night. We can get 6. I feel like this will be the one that's closest to that 6. It's hard, man. Especially with this trade that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 or 4 and then them teams. That's really the hard part about predicting this draft overall. But players wise, just prospects would think would be drafted in the first round. I think we got all of them, to be honest with you. Only one I feel like we might have didn't have a Chop, but Chop's size concerns and just rawness of his game is going to stop a lot of people from drafting him. So I like what we got here. We don't have no Xavier Leggett in the first round. We didn't do that this time, so we're a little more serious. I appreciate that.
Nothing serious about this draft.
Why do you say that, CT?
No Leggett and no Keon Coleman. Bargain bin picks in the second round. Teams are rushing to the phones for pick 33 for those two, but Panthers be smart.
Well,
Tankadon
does have Keon Coleman going at 34 right now. So
who had that? Who has that?
Tankadon has Keon going at 34.
Who the fuck is 34? Oh. I mean, I guess. I mean, that's cool.
John Robertson did not get picked either. It's a little.
Bryce Young don't deserve that, though.
After I be drafted, nobody was. Y'all wanted to draft Jared Verse.
My fault. That's not a good pick.
Because he's bulkier.
You're going to be so sad when Jared Verse go top 10. It's going to be like.
That's not happening. Where's the draft?
Do you want to bet money that Jared Verse? I'll bet
the draft
any
is
money you
April 25th. I believe.
No, where?
Oh, where is it? I think it's in Vegas. Let me check.
No, it is in Detroit.
If Jared Verse goes top 10 in the draft, I will be on a flight to Detroit by the time the night ends.
What you gonna do? You gonna stop it? You're gonna stop
it?
So he just gonna leave. He just gonna leave the live broadcast.
Right, because I'm gonna have my suitcase next to. I'm gonna bring my suitcase with me wherever we watching it. I'm gonna have my suitcase, and I'm gonna just take it with me if he ends up going anywhere in the top 10.
He got the private jet on the ready. This is crazy.
He ain't going. I'll make sure of it. Trust.
But I see you go with the card out of Roger Goodell's hand.
If there are rumors the day before, I will be on the way to Detroit, and I'll have a conversation with every team there represented.
Has he been mocked at 9? Has he been mocked at 9?
Jared Verse right now is like projected to go top 10, right? You know that, right?
He's not.
If Rome is not there,
I could see the Bears doing it. I could definitely see the Bears.
The Bears are going to get Jared Verse. You know that, right?
It's either him or Dallas Turner.
And Dallas Turner's going to the Falcons for sure. You know that, right? Bro.
Lots who just falling.
No. I'll make sure.
How far do you think Jared Verse will actually slide? Like, no hate, like, dead ass. Like,
I think he can go in the 20s.
Realistically, I don't think he goes past 16.
Bro, he's not making it past 16, though. He's not. I'm sorry. It's just not possible.
Nah, he could fall past 16.
Do the Saints let Chase Young and Harriman Jordan stop that from getting Jared Verse? I don't believe so.
Depends on what offensive lineman on the board.
They need an offensive lineman back.
The only way the offensive linemen are on the board is if Jared Verse doesn't. Yeah, Jared Verse gets drafted before. Lord, Jared Verse is not going to slide that far. I don't know. What do you have against Jared Verse?
Nothing special.
I guess you talk about it another day.
Nothing special.
He's nothing.
Nothing special. Well, we've already had an edge episode. We agree.
We?
Yes.
I said he's nothing special. I said that?
Nah, you ain't say that. I didn't say that
Okay.
either. But we agree on his rank as an edge.
Oh. Where is he on my board? He
Edge
is
4. I said we agree. Edge 4.
Bruh.
You did agree, JG, because it was literally me that had Jared at edge 3, and then we had the conversation.
Hear me out. My opinion does not matter to the league when they see that boy move at his size. They don't.
That's the difference between you and me.
That Brett Coleman video moved him.
Matters. They listen to me.
Have we not seen this year after year about what they value athletically in the draft? Does not happen year after year. Why are you acting like this doesn't?
They're learning from their mistakes.
Who is learning from their mistakes?
The league.
Oh, now you about to make me look at the draft just from last year. I know somebody did that just last year. They're gonna make me check now.
Chill, because he definitely went 7 to the Raiders. We hopping on FIFA after this. This has been another edition of Trace Triumph, Mock Draft 2.0. We have another mock draft coming out that will probably come out the week before or the week of the draft. Be sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm Christian. You're a sports fan. Brian. No birthdays this week. Be sure to stay tuned for the next play.